verses. So the 29th chapter is 82 verses, and lot of nectarian verses are also there. I don't know how. It's not in my agenda to cover that, but still I feel that in this section, with that, it actually comes to the proper closure. However, I'm not sure even this chapter will complete today. As I was telling Prabhu, Madhu Prabhu, that even if we sit till 6 o'clock in the evening, this chapter, we cannot get the gist of it so much. The purports are so very deep, so very deep. Each one, Prabhupada will just get into the skin of that verse, if you are under the skin, get under the skin kind of. So what I was thinking is that we have Subal Prabhu, Sudama Pran Prabhu, then Abhishek Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhus. Thank you for joining. So what I was thinking is that we will recite the verses and translation continuously without touching the purport. Because these purports, already we know the last few chapter purports are very, very deep and powerful. This is even more. So if we get into that, we will forget this thread, and I don't think we can go even 20 verses today by the end of today, our time. So let's do one thing. Let's read the continuously the verses and the continuously the translation. Each one we will read the verse together, then one can read the translation. I don't know if devotees in online can do. Maybe what we can do is for the first 30 verses, there are 65 verses here. For the first 30 verses, the people here can do the translation, take turns to read the translation. And the next 30, we'll ask the devotees online to do the translation. So what you will do, only the Sanskrit you will recite, because then there will be confusion. Who is doing what translation? Only the Sanskrit continuously will do. Then continuously all the translations will do. Okay. Let's do the Sanskrit together. Now you will relish this way of reading now, because the continuous reading of the Sanskrit sound vibration will really feel pleasing, and on Ekadashi day especially, you will really feel that vibration even more, because in Sanskrit, the speciality of the Sanskrit verses is that it has a hypnotic effect which is inevitably lost in translation to any other language. So even without understanding, you will relish it. That is the beauty of Sanskrit. English, if you don't understand, you will not relish. But Sanskrit, without understanding also, you can relish it. Okay, so let's do it. Narada Uvacha Sainika Bhayanam Ye Barhishmandishtakarinaha Prajvarakala Kanyabhyam Vicherur Avanimimam Ta Ekadatu Rabhasa Puranjana Purim Drupa Rurudur Bhoma Bhogadyam Jarat Pannaga Palitam Kala Kanyapi Bubuje Puranjana Purambalat Yaya Vibhuta Purushaha Sadyoni Saratamiyat Tayopa Bujyamanam Vai Yavanah Sarvatodisham Dvabhi Pravishya Subrusham Prardayam Sakalam Purim Tasyam Prapidyamanayam Abhimani Puranjanaha Avaporu Vidam Stapan Kutumbi Mamatakulaha Kanyopagudo Nashta Shri Kripano Vishayatmakaha Nashta Prajno Hridaishwaryo Gandharva Yavanaibalat Vishirnam Swapurim Vikya Pratikulananadritan Putran Pautran Jayam Cha Gata Sauhridam Atmanam Kanyayagrastam Panchalan Aridushitan Duranta Chintam Apanno Na Lebhetat Pratikriyam Kaman Abhilashandino Yata Yamam Shakanyaya Vigatatmakati Sneha Putradaram Chalalayan Gandharva Yavana Krantam Kala Kanyopamarditam Hatum Prachakrame Raja Tam Purim Anikamataha Bhayanamno Grajo Bhita Brata Prajvara Pratyupastitaha Dadakatam Purim Kritsnam Brato Priyachikirshaya Tasyam Sandakyamanayam Sapauras Saparichadaha कौटुंबिकः कुटुंबिन्या उपातप्यत सान्वयः यवनोपरुद्धायतनो ग्रस्तायां कालकन्यया पूर्यां प्रज्वार संसृष्टः पुरपालोन्वतप्यत न शेके सोवितुं तत्र पुरुकृच्छ्रोरुवेपतुः गन्तुम् ऐच्छत्ततो वृक्ष कोटरादिवसानलात् सीतिवालवयवो यर्हि गन्धर्वैर्हृतपौरुषः यवनैररिभिराजन् उपरुद्धोरुरोधः दुहितृः पुत्रपौत्रांश्च जामी जामातृपार्षदान् स्वस्त्वावशिष्टं यत्किञ्चित् गृहकोश परिच्छदाम् गृहेषु कुमतिर्गृही दद्यौ प्रमदया दीनो विप्रयोग उपस्थिते लोकान्तरं गतवती मय्यनाथा कुटुम्बिनी वर्तिष्यते कथं त्वेषा बालकाननुशोचति न मय्यनाशिते भुङ्क्ते नास्नाते स्नाति मत्परा मयि रुष्टेषु सन्त्रस्ता भर्त्सिते यत वाग्भयात् प्रबोधयति मा विज्ञां पीयूषिते शोककर्षिता वर्त्मै तद्गृहमेधीयं वीरसूरपि नेष्यति कथं नो दारकादीना दारकीर्वापरायणाः वर्तिष्यन्ते मयि गते भिन्ननावयो दधौ एवं कृपणया बुद्ध्या शोचन्तम् अतदर्हणं गृहीतुं कृतधीर्येनं भयनामाभ्यपद्यत नीयमानस्वकं क्षयम् अन्वद्रवन्ननुपताः शोचन्तो वृषमातुराः पुरीं विहायोपगत उपरुद्धो भुजङ्गमः यदा तम् एवानुपुरी विशीर्णा प्रकृतिं गतां विकृष्यमानः प्रसभं यवनेन बलीयसा नाविन्दत्तमसाविष्टः सखायं सुहृदं पुरः तं यज्ञपशवो नेन संज्ञप्ता ये दयालुना पुटारैश्चिच्छिदुः क्रुद्धाः स्मरन्तोमीवमस्य तत् अनन्तपारे तमसि मग्नो नष्टस्मृतिः समाः शाश्वतीरनुभूयार्तिं प्रमदा संगदूषितः तामेव मनसा गृह्णन् बभूव प्रमदोत्तमा अनन्तरं विदर्भस्य राजसिंहस्य वेश्मणि उपयेमे वीर्यपणां वैदर्भीं मलयध्वजः युधि निर्जित्य राजन्यान् पाण्ड्यः परपुरञ्जयः तस्यां स जनयां चक्र आत्मजाम् असितेक्षणां यवीयसः सप्तसुतान् सप्तद्रविडभूभृतः एकैकस्याभवत्तेषां राजन्नर्बुदमर्बुदम् बोक्ष्यते यद्वंशधरेर्महीमन्वन्तरं परम् अगस्त्यः प्राग्दुहितरम् उपयेमे धृतव्रतां यस्यां दृढच्युतो जात इद्मवाहात्मजो मुनिः विभज्य तनयेभ्यः क्ष्मां राजर्षिर्मलयध्वजः आरिराधयिषु कृष्णं स जगाम कुलाचलं हित्वा गृहान् सुतान् भोगान् वैदर्भीमदिरेक्षणा अन्वधावत पाण्ड्येषु ज्योत्स्नेव रजनीकरं तत्र चन्द्रवसा नाम ताम्रपर्णीवटोदका तत्पुण्यसलिले नित्यम् उभयत्रात्मनो मृजन् कंदाष्टिभिर्मूलफलैः पुष्पवर्णैस्तृणोदकैः वर्तमानश्शनैर्गात्र कर्षणं तप आस्थितः शीतोष्णवातवर्षाणि क्षुत्पिपासे प्रिया प्रिये सुखदुःखे इति द्वन्द्वनि see we have to read it like सुखदुःखे इति द्वन्द्वानि अजयत् समदर्शनः तपसा विद्यया पक्वः कषायो नियमैर्यमैः युयुजे ब्रह्मणि आत्मानं विजिताक्षानिलाशयः आस्ते स्थाणुरिवैकत्र दिव्यं वर्षशतं शिरः वासुदेवे भगवती नान्यद्वेदोद्वहन् रतिं स व्यापकतयात्मानं व्यतिरिक्त आत्मनि व्यतिरिक्ततयात्मनि विद्वान् स्वप्न इवामर्ष साक्षिणं विररामः साक्षात् भगवतोक्तेन गुरुणा हरिणा नृप विशुद्धज्ञानदीपेन स्फुरता विश्वतोमुखं परे ब्रह्मणि चात्मानं परं ब्रह्मण ततात्मनि वीक्ष्यमाणो विहायेक्षाम् अस्मादुपररामः पतिं परमधर्मज्ञं वैदर्भीमलयध्वजं प्रेम्णा पर्यचरद्धित्वा भोगान् सा पतिदेवता चिरवासावृतक्षामा वेणीभूतशिरोरुहा बभावुपपतिं शान्ता शिखा शान्तं युवानलम् अजानती प्रियतमो यदो परतमङ्गुणा अङ्गना सुस्थिरासनम् आसाद्य यथा पूर्वमुपाचरत् यदा नोपलभेताङ्ग्रा ऊष्माणं पत्युरर्चति आसीत् संविघ्नहृदया यूथभ्रष्टा मृगी यथा आत्मानं शोचति दीनम् अपन्धुं विक्लवाश्रुभिः स्तनावाशिच्य विपिने सुस्वरं प्ररुरोदसा उत्तिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ राजर्षे इमाम् उदति मेखलां दस्युभ्यः बन्धुभ्यो बिभ्यतीं पातुमर्हसि एवं विलपन्ति बालाः विपिनेऽनुगतापतिं पतिता पादयोर्भर्तु रुदत्यश्रूण्यवर्तयत् चितिं दारुमयीं चित्वा तस्यां मत्युः कलेवरम् आदीप्यजानुमरणे विलपन्ति मनोदधे तत्र पूर्वतरः कश्चित् सखा ब्राह्मण आत्मवान् सान्त्वयन् वल्गुणासाम्ना तामाह रुदतीं प्रभो ब्राह्मण उवाच का त्वं कस्यासि को वायं शयानो यस्य शोचसि जानासि किं सखायं मां येनाग्रे विचचर्तः अपि स्मरसि चात्मानम् अविज्ञात सखं सखे हित्वा मां पदमन्विच्छन् बहुमभोगरतो गतः हंसावहं च त्वं चार्य सखायो मानसायनो अभूतामन्तरावकौकः सहस्रपरिवत्सरान् स त्वं विहाय मां बन्धो गतो ग्राम्यमतिर्महीं विचरन् पदमद्राक्षीः कयाचिन्निर्मितं स्त्रिया पञ्चारामौ नवद्वारं एकपालं त्रिकोष्टकं षट्कुलं पञ्चविपणं पञ्च प्रकृतिस्त्रिदवं पाञ्चेन्द्रियार्था आरामा द्वारः प्राण नवप्रभो तेजो बन्नानि कोष्ठानि कुलम् इन्द्रियसङ्ग्रहः विपनस्तु क्रियाशक्तेर्भूत प्रकृतिरव्यया शक्त्यधीशः पुमांस्त्वत्र प्रविष्टो नावबुध्यते तस्मिंस्त्वं रामया स्पृष्टो रममाणो श्रुतस्मृतिः तत्सङ्गात् ईदृशीं प्राप्तो दशां पापीयसीं प्रभो न त्वं विदर्भ दुहिता नायं वीरः सुहृत्तव न पतिस्त्वं पुरञ्जन्य रुद्धो नवमुखेयया माया ह्येषा मया सृष्टा यत्पुमांसं स्त्रियं सतीं मन्यसे नोभयं यद्वै हंसौ पश्यावयोर्गतिम् अहं भवान् न चान्यस्त्वं त्वमेवाहं विचक्षभोः नानौ पश्यन्ति कवयः छिद्रं जातु मनागपि यथा पुरुष आत्मानम् एकम् आदर्श चक्षुषोः द्विधा भूतमवेक्षेत तथैवान्तरमावयोः एवं समानसो हंसो हंसेन प्रतिबोधितः स्वस्थस्तद्व्यभिचारेण नष्टामाप पुनः स्मृतिम् पर्हिष्मन्येतदध्यात्मम् आरोक्ष्येन प्रदर्शितं यत्परोक्षप्रियो देवो भगवान् विश्वभावनः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So last, how long is 15 minutes we were doing? Right? 15 minutes we were completely absorbed in Krishna, completely in touch with Krishna. without any mental speculation. Because when you don't understand the words, there is no scope of mental speculation. Right? So whenever mental speculation comes, Krishna vanishes. Material mental speculation. But deliberation is happy. What is that word we saw that? Deliberation. Was that actual deliberation or something we had that? Two words were there. Deliberation, one more word was there. Just day before only we were seeing that, I think.
Imperceptibly.
Sorry?
Imperceptibly. Imperceptibly, Prabhuji.
No, imperfect deliberation.
No.
Deliberate consideration, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Deliberate consideration. Consideration was it? Consideration.
Deliberate consideration. That is the word we were talking about now. So intelligence help with the deliberation. Mind on its own does speculation. That concoction, we call it. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna. Prajahati yadan kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Manogatan, by the speed of the mind, without any proper guide, his mind will go on speculating. But intelligence, that is why here in this entire episode, the importance is given to intelligence. Because once you make your intelligence strong, mind will automatically become subservient easily. Our problem is when the intelligence doesn't have proper, what do you call, knowledge base or proper training. If it is not properly trained to see the spiritual side of the side of anything, then eventually what happens is it will only drag the living entity even further down. That's what we saw till now. When that material intelligence was there, Atma is dragged down to this material consciousness. But when the intelligence is left alone and he went to the forest to do all his passionate thing, that is when he is taking mind with him, but not the intelligence with him. So mind will tell, kill that thing, go, grab that, achieve this. Doesn't matter if you harm this person, you kill that person also, but you want victory, you want name, fame, followers. For that you can do anything. So that kind of a thing that it will give. But without the support of the intelligence, you will not decipher what is correct, what is wrong. So that is where when he comes back from the hunting thing, Puranjana, what did he do? He came and he was looking that the whole thing was not all right. The body is not keeping all right. It's because the intelligence is disturbed. You didn't take advantage of me in your activities. Because especially in the human form of life is where when the intelligence is not properly used, we will be disturbed. Other things, there is no need for usage of intelligence. It's all programmed intelligence. You understand? A dog, cat, tiger, they also have intelligence, but they have programmed intelligence. Their intelligence will not go beyond that ahara nidra bhayamaitunam. Right? For us, that dharmo hi eko adiko visheshana. So we look at right, wrong. We deliberate. That is where the deliberation point comes. Whether what I am doing is right or wrong. Cat will never, or dog or tiger or lion will not repent for killing its prey. Deer or cow or whatever. But we repent because that is where the higher consciousness or deliberation comes into play. Right? So his intelligence, when he comes back and he sees that, oh, I have not utilized my intelligence at all in my spiritual intelligence at all in my activity, then he repents. That repentance is the starting point of our devotional service. We saw the other day also, right? So when he repents, then he thinks that, okay, I did also. He tries to pacify. He tries to pacify the intelligence. In other words, he's trying to, okay, now onwards I will consult with you. Intelligence is intelligence is specified when it is always consulted. Right? Even among us also. Why it is so? Because it has all the, that is how you will utilize it. See, in this world, if you see anything will feel very happy and relaxed if we are utilizing them for the capacity they possess or for the qualification they possess, correct? If a nice singer is there, if you utilize him, engage him in the service of kirtan or some, bhajans, kirtans and all that, then he will be he will be situated in his peace. I mean, he will be at peace, right? Or somebody who is good at preaching, you keep engaging them in preaching seva, they'll be very happy. Those cooks we saw the other day, how happy they are. By nature, they like cooking. They are used to cooking. So you take them and put in that question answer stall to answer the questions. So they will be literally fish out of water. Or you take us and put into kitchen, we will be fish out of water. We only know to eat, we don't know to cook. So that is how for all of us also. See, when somebody comes and takes help from you, right? You like something, you like to do something. I mean, you are naturally capable of doing something. So when somebody, Prabhu, can you please help me in this? Like suppose you drive nicely, Prabhu, can you please take me there? Then you feel that I have been utilized properly, isn't it? Then you will feel peaceful. If you have all the qualifications, but that qualification is not utilized in any of this, it is not being manifested at all, then you will be always in anxiety and disturbance. Then you will be depressed. Nobody is utilizing my talents. Nobody is utilizing my activity, my capabilities. What is the use of? Because you spend so much time to get yourself equipped with it, isn't it? Somebody is a very good computer programmer and he is not utilized properly in the company. He writes code, he knows Python, whatever. I'll see the name of the things. Python, Pascal, Rascal, Java, Spring, so many swings, so many. Their names itself is so Kali Yuga names, And so somebody says, I know Python, they are not giving me work in Python. I say, Python, you know that? Or you don't know? There is one language called Python, and that is the most famous now. Once you learn Python, they will take you immediately in companies. So this you have this language, then they are not utilizing you, and that they are telling you just to fill in some Excel sheet. You will feel very disturbed. I am not being utilized at all, right? Whatever I am capable of doing, they don't know, isn't it? So intelligence like hand, legs. If you don't use it at all, like this only you keep it, will become invalid. You don't use it. That's why we are not using our hands, legs, and all properly. Then it becomes the tennis elbow, football elbow, all those things come. And then you will be putting oil, massage, this, that, and it will not correct it. The more you use it, the more it will stay stronger for a longer period. Correct? It's very important to know this secret. And the spine and everything. The more have you ever seen any of the people who are lifting weight, the big bags and all their way lifting? No. Have you ever seen them go to physiotherapist? Or go to some spine massage, this massage, that, and all? Have you been? Those who are sitting in this computer field, they are the best customers for this. In fact, the whole physiotherapy thing is supplier, customer is all our this lazy bums only. We people like who are sitting all day with a chair and stomach is full of stool only. And what is this? Is it some nice prasadam is sitting here or what? It's all stool. Right? Ku kalevara arpitam. Devta say in Bhagavatam, Ku kalevara arpitam. Means 20 kg of urine and stool. Who will be proud of I am carrying 20 kg of urine and stool everywhere I go? He's so proud that I have this much. This is all we are. We have to be utilized properly in whatever we have. So intelligence also is specified when you utilize it for deliberating on the right and wrong things. You consult the intelligence, like we read so much shastras for whatever. Now somebody comes and asks you a question, you feel very eager and enthused, isn't it? You may not know the answer, but still you feel, hey, somebody is coming and asking me a question. If you are in Pune for 20 years, somebody comes and asks you for address, you feel like giving them, go there, go left. Yesterday only I came in, they come and ask the address. I feel, man, he is asking me. I don't know, I left back to the, I myself am using Google Maps to go from one place to another. So the thing is, the more time you spend on certain things, the more you want to be utilized in that particular skill or capability. And that is why Bhagavad Gita says, Sahajam karma kaunteya sa dosham api na tyajet. Every endeavor is covered with some fault. But what is born with you, you don't give it up. Even if it is faulty, you just keep doing what is born. Sahajam. Jam means born. Saha means along with you. Sahodara visana, saha udara. Udara means stomach, abdomen. So you born in the same abdomen, he is also born in the same abdomen. So they are sahodar, brothers. Right? So sahajam. Sahajam karma kaunteya. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, whatever is born with you, basic talent you will have, no? Sa dosham apina tyajet. If it is full of dosha, also don't give it up. Because that is what will perfect you, perfect your life. You understand? So that is why this intelligence is utilized. Now, after he came back, he found repentant and he started using the intelligence. Then the intelligence became happy. Now, the thing is, for Atma, even intelligence also, you should only consult. You should not be too attached to it. You should only consult. For soul should not be attached to anything. In our own intelligence, we become proud. Hey, I am intelligent. I think, I speculate a lot, then I become attached to the mind. So, but then this attachment is developed by whom? Who is developing this attachment? Why you are all mumbling? Tell louder, no? Attachment to mind and intelligence. Soul is getting attached to mind and intelligence. So who is creating this attachment? I told everything except that one thing. That's the only thing that is pending. False ego, ahankar. That is what is attaching you to the Atma, to the intelligence also. Suppose you are very learned, you become proud. I mean, you means we become proud, isn't it? That pride is because of my attachment to my intelligence. Hey, I can answer all questions. That attachment, that pride. You know, hey, you can think nicely and draw, and then that mind, attachment to the mind. You can run nicely, attachment to the running thing. So this attachment is created by this guy called false ego. The ego itself is false. It is not existing. The whole essence of these 5 chapters is to tell you that don't be attached to that which is not existing. Why are you attached to something which is not existing? If it is existing, you can get attached to. Correct? So this is the essence. You understood the point that the false ego is creating this attachment. I have good. Somebody say you are very intelligent. Then I become attached to my intelligence. So here, what is Puranjana doing? He was attached to that Puranjani, the wife. So, which means the soul is attached to the intelligence. So, while leaving the body, he is continuously thinking of the intelligence. Thinking of, like he is thinking of the wife, so he becomes a girl, lady the next life. So, he is too much thinking of the intelligence, then he becomes born as an intelligent person in his next life. So, we should understand. Right? So, actually, soul is higher, intelligence is lower. Puranjana, Puranjani, are the woman. So if you are at a higher one is attached to the lower one, the next birth you will take birth as a lower one. That is why Puranjana became a Puranjani in the next life. You got it? This is how we start slowly degrading in our the life also, yoni. You got it? Lower intelligence is lower, like that will come. Soul should never be attached to anything around it. Now, let's read the translations. And Prabhu, I told you in the morning, Samarpan Prabhu, but little slight difference we did. what we did was we recited all the shlokas in one go, only recitation of Sanskrit. Actually, Prabhus, if you the Ekadashi day, I was thinking it's Krishna arranged. Ekadashi day, not only Ekadashi day, any fasting day, if you do Sanskrit recitation, no, you will really forget your hunger. Krishna is there in the form of those Shabda Rupa, he is with you. So once what happened, in Abu Dhabi, we had a Janmashtami celebration. So Maharaj was there, and he had asked me to come. So I was in the US, so I flew into Abu Dhabi. So Maharaj said in the morning when we completed the Mangalarti, Maharaj is staying in one other devotee's home. The programs are all happening in another home. In Dubai, Abu Dhabi and all, it's all home-based, you know that, right? It's no, you cannot have official centers and all. So they were making all the arrangements there for the evening program. But morning, we did Mangalarti in Maharaj, where Maharaj was there staying. And immediately after the Mangalarti was over, Maharaj said, today is Krishna's Krishna Janmashtami, appearance day of the Lord. So Krishna appears in Bhagavad Gita. So today our service is whole day we are reciting Bhagavad Gita. This is our celebration of Janmashtami. So we started at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, on the Janmashtami day. We went till 3:30 in the afternoon. How many hours total? 9 hours. Bhagavad Gita chant recitation doesn't take more than 1.5 hours or two if you fast to do it. But what Maharaj did, he made us, we are all sitting together. Maharaj said, Kartal, no? So these verses, he made us recite with the beats. He told we have to recite according to the thing, Chanda, there is a different beats are there. Like suppose, for example, I am reading this 64th verse. Evam samana sohamso hamsena pratiboditaha swastastatya vicharena nashtamapa punasmritim. Like this. Okay. So in that also, he made us, one person should chant, others should repeat. Every verse in Bhagavad Gita, we did like that. Okay. This takes double the time. But on top of it, what he did, suppose while doing this, with the Kartal beat, if he forget to play the Kartal, or if he play wrong beats, or the shloka we recite incorrectly, then Maharaj will make us to recite again. The same verse you have to recite again until we correct. And we have to change. Beat is not 3 always. When you change to the other shloka which we were singing, the other one, it goes to Dvital. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanancha vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo Vedanta kritveda videva chaham dvavimau purushau loke charastakshara evacha charas sarvani bhutani purtastokshara uchate uttama purusha sanyaga parama. Like this you are going on. You can now imagine why it took 9 hours. We kept on repeating the thing. Whenever you are missing, Maharaj said, hey, repeat again. So that entire period, after every chapter, Maharaj would say, see, last 15 minutes, we were with Krishna. Now let's be with Krishna more. Next chapter. And then we will say, do the translation. Maharaj will tell important shlokas and translation. So this is how we celebrated the Janmashtami. Fasting and chanting continuously. Till today, those devotees who were doing that seva, some of them were engaged in physical seva. And they were thinking that Maharaj will come there for class. They didn't realize that we were sitting here doing Bhagavad Gita. And we kept on going, and Maharaj was busy with us. One by one, they were wondering, Maharaj is also not there. Some devotees are also not there. Something wrong. So they were sneaking slowly, one by one, they were coming and seeing, hey, they are doing Bhagavad Gita. Maharaj will be very upset if you are not with Bhagavad Gita. And man, Krishna does not like your balloons and ribbons. He wants you to be with him in the Sabda incarnation. Huh? Yeah, if you're not with sound vibration, what is the use? They were running all the way from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. Abu Dhabi to Dubai is like Pune to Mumbai. Abu Dhabi to Dubai, they were running all the way to collect some flowers and some ribbons and balloons and all those color papers and all that. Maharaj was extremely upset. He fired them all left, right, and center in the afternoon. On Janmashtami days, he imagined getting firing from the spiritual master. Luckily, we were getting firing for reciting wrongly. That is a separate firing. So Maharaj said, "Man, don't you realize that you are with Krishna?" He was giving so much importance to our recitation. Even if we put one visarga wrongly, we recite also. One anuswara we recite wrongly also, he will catch hold of us. He will say, "Man, Kali Yuga product, properly recite, man." And then he will say, "What are you eating? Are you eating meat that you are not able to recite properly?" He will literally fire us. We will start crying if this here is firing. His one side is soft like a rose when he comes to loving thing. But when it comes to dealing with Krishna, if he do anything wrong, slightest dishonesty, he will not tolerate. Slightest I will tell you what dishonesty means for him, what dishonesty means for us. I was going with Maharaj to Dwarka, from Rajkot to Dwarka in train. He went in normal train, so we took the second class, that unreserved ticket. So I paid the thing and I got 2 tickets for me and Maharaj, and we went and came back from the Rajkot to Dwarka and Dwarka to him. And then I let Maharaj inside the room. And once he sat down, I was about to leave. Then Maharaj was like this, "Haribol." And what happened, Maharaj? "Where is the ticket? Give me the ticket." The ticket, unreserved ticket, which he purchased, not even 50 rupees. And then he took this voucher thing and he wrote, Rajkot to Dwarka, ticket price amount, this much, and 2 tickets like this. He put, this is his honesty. If you purchase the ticket also, you don't give the bill, that is dishonesty. If you forgot to give, not that you don't give. And when you count the Lakshmi, if even 1 rupee difference is there, whatever that hundi is there, that is dishonesty. And when you are having the honey bottle, from honey bottle you are pouring the honey, and if the honey, when it is dropping now, and you lift it again, if that honey spills out, then we are in the modes. We are in the mode of passion and ignorance, man. Kali Yuga product. And then see, when you put this thing, take it out like this, there should not be even a drop coming out. What to speak of falling? It should not even come out. That is the level of consciousness you would expect from anybody doing personal service. And when you squeeze the lemon, there should not be a drop left in the lemon thing after that. Ginger, lemon and all. He said, "Yeah, Krishna's energy, man, you're wasting it. What is your Bhagavatam preaching and Bhagavatam thing if you can't understand, see Krishna in these things?" We have had all those side, those leelas are different, Laughter, jokes and all is one side. These are all like nursing a farm. So anyway, so this is how Maharaj taught us about this Shabda Rupa form, associating with the Shabda Rupa form of the Lord. He said, if you associate with this form, you will realize Bhagavatam without even understanding, because you will already be in peace of mind. What is supposed to come to you as a result of studying Bhagavatam scrutinizingly, half of it is already there with you after you finish recitation. Now we are getting into the translation and trying to understand into the text. As I told you earlier, the purports are so deep. Our Samapanam Prabhu is so fond of those few verses where spiritual master is relationship between spiritual master and disciple is explained so beautifully by Prabhupada there. I hope we get there today. And then we will see if we can continue that. So let's read from the first translation now. As I told earlier, the devotees here will take turns to read the translation one by one, and up to 30th verse. Then we will go to the online devotees to decide from, read the translations from there. Okay, let's quickly go through. 28th chapter, verse number 1.
The great sage Narada continued, "My dear King Prachini Barisat, afterward, the king of the Yavanas, whose name is fear itself, as well as Prajwara, Kalakanya, and his soldiers begin to travel all over the world.
So now already he is weak. This Kalakanya Jara has come, old age has come. This Yavana, king of Yavana. King of Yavana is none other than Yamaraj. It's everything is Yamaraj's servants and companions. So that Prajwara is the brother of Yamaraj. Prajwara is, what is Prajwara? Fever. It's just before death, the fever that comes, no? 107 degrees. That is the fever. That is what is Prajwara. So he is, they are all moving around. Now the body is becoming weak one by one. See, I will ask your suggestion. What do you want to do? Because when you are reading, if you read mechanically, you will not understand. But if you have to go to the purports to understand even more deeper thing that Prabhupada is giving. Do you want to do this discussion with just the translation and go in? Because that way we will not read the purports at all. How do you want to do it? We'll, like yesterday only we'll translation, purport and purport do. But reading translations and purport, one can take and do. Okay? Because the Prabhupada's that nectar will be there. The hidden gems is there inside the purports. Let's read this purport then.
The period of life just prior to death is certainly very dangerous, because usually at this time, people are attacked by the weakness of old age as well as many kinds of disease. The diseases that attack the body are compared here to soldiers.
So all these soldiers are Yamaraj soldiers.
These soldiers are not ordinary soldiers, for they are guided by the king of Yamanas, who
They are not ordinary
is their
soldiers.
commander-in-chief.
Mm.
The word Vishtakarina indicates that he is their commander. When a man is young, he does not care for old age, but enjoys sex to the best of his satisfaction, not knowing that at the end of his life, his sexual indulgence will bring on various diseases which so much disturb the body that one will pray for immediate death. The more one enjoys sex during youth, the more he suffers in old age.
This last line is so powerful, right? Even the first line is very powerful. It is period just of life just prior to death is certainly very dangerous, because usually at this time people are attacked by weakness of old age as well as many kinds of disease. See, when we are young, even if the disease comes, somehow or other, we will be able to tolerate. Isn't it? Somewhat that fever and all, you can walk, you can move around and that. But when the old age is there, at that time, even small fever you cannot tolerate. Small ailment also we cannot tolerate. So Maharaj used to make a very interesting statement. He said that there are two kinds of diseases. One disease comes and goes, like fever, cold, cough. These all come and go. In the young age, when it comes also along with it, you can work. But when it comes in the old age, it will stay for a little longer. And you cannot, because of the weakness, we cannot tolerate it so easily. The second type of disease, first type of disease come and go. The second type of disease come to take you away. He said this. That disease will sit with you till your death. Like suppose you have what they call it as cervical spondylitis, nerve root compression. Like you have pain here. Their doctors themselves will tell you, it will not go away. You have to tolerate it till you die. When your body is a little younger, you will be able to tolerate it to a certain extent, but still sleep and all very difficult. And later, as you grow older, muscles starts reducing, the bones will start touching the skin, the pain will be even more excruciating. Very difficult to bear that pain. And then sometimes liver problem or kidney problem. For lifetime you have to be in that treatment, isn't it? Now they call it tennis elbow. There is no cure for that. The pain will always be there in your this part, elbow part. Or knee problem. The pain will be always there with you. So these are all chronic pains, we call it, or diabetes. They're chronic pains, chronic diseases. They come to take you away. So they sit with you all the time. These are all the strong soldiers, all these diseases. They see, just imagine, here is the story of a man and city and all that, right? But your body itself is that city, inside which the soul Puranjana is there, and you have the Avijnata super soul is there, and that intelligence is your wife, very closely connected. And then all these diseases are the what do you call, the five airs are the that serpent that is protecting the body. Because even if you have all other and in fact, if you see, one of the things that Maharaj would say is that all the diseases in our body, or most of the diseases in our body, if not all, are a manifestation of the improper circulation of air in the body. Those 10 airs we saw that yesterday, no? Those 10 airs, they have some problem somewhere in their movement, because the air is what is pushing the blood flow. From the heart, the air is generated. From super soul, then the Atma is there. From the main air, Pranavayu is created from there. And it pushes the blood to flow. And that Vayu is there, no? That Vayu movement moves the blood. Wherever the Vayu stops, blood stops. So when the blood is not flowing to the different parts, they will not be nourished. That is why after some time we have paralytic attack, why the blood flow is not there. Here the muscles become tight for here, or somewhere. Why? Because the blood flow is there, then there will be softness in the body. When the blood flow is completely like bhumi, when the water is always there in the land, it will be soft, isn't it? When there is no water at all, it is sukha pad jayega, so it will be like always sun is beating, it will become so hard, isn't it? That land will become, that sand will become so hard. Same way our body also. Because it is made of both are same. Bhumi, Apo, Anala, Vayu. This is also made of the same items. So this should have the same property. Right? So that is why the flow is there. So wherever you have some problem, it's because of the Vayu. Vayu not moving properly. So in Ayurveda, they give the treatment just by looking at this, they will say, okay, Vayu problem. Too much kapha, too much pitta, or Vayu is low. Your kapha, pitta, Vayu, 3. The Vayu problem. So they will give some treatment to move the Vayu, that's all. So the Vayu is protecting. Now all these things will slowly they die down, and the soldiers will become more and more strong. The serpent is protecting these soldiers from attacking the Puranjana. But because the serpent is becoming weak, the Vayu is. That's why as you grow older and older, the Vayu's movement is also slower. That's why digestion is also slowing down, right? Or movement of our hands, legs, they also slow down. We saw yesterday those 10 Vayu's functions, what all they do, right? And then the heat also goes down slowly because of the air is not flowing, the heat also goes down. When the heat goes down, your cheeks are all stuck and your hands are all this thing. Then your eyebrows, it is going slowly, hair becomes gray, and all those things happen as a result of the reduction in the heat. So accordingly, we should adjust our thing. We cannot dump food inside when there is no heat, digestion heat is not there, right? So this is all. These two diseases, please remember this. One comes and goes, another comes to take you away. So Maharaj said that for this one, that which comes and goes, you may take some little Ayurvedic medicine, whatever, even if that is not there, it will automatically go away. But the disease which comes and to take you away, that will not go away. So the only remedy for that is chanting the holy names. Accepting that it is going to be with you forever and chanting the holy names. It will help you that yes, the pain is there. I will keep accepting. That's it. So what you will do, why that will help you chanting the holy names? Because when you chant the holy names, your taste for devotional service increases. You will start focusing on Seva and Bhagavatam and all that. That day, yesterday or day before? Yesterday only, I think. No, day before. That Prabhuji, elderly Prabhuji who every day gives Charanamrit, he fell down somewhere, I think, and he had his hurt and he had his head, blood was flowing thing. And he was just sitting there and chanting. I was thinking he should go for first aid, but he was sitting there and he was chanting. Everybody was coming and asking. And he said, no, I'm just chanting, So much is his taste for holy names. Yes, you fell down. What will you do? Rushing to this thing. Let me chant. Somehow they came and put the bandage under later. That is the faith you should have. Whatever happens, that is for the body. Atma, this is for the soul. This is a beauty thing here. So these lines are so amazing. The last line you see, the more one enjoys sex during youth, the more he suffers in old age. Very strong statement. So the more we are maintaining our chastity to Krishna, to Bhakti, holy names, and Bhagavatam, the more our old age will be peaceful. Like yesterday also we said that prasannat chetas, prasanna evam prasanna manaso. Prasannata in this world, in this life is not possible without having ruchi for Bhagavatam and holy names. There is no way you can have prasannata without having ruchi for holy names and Bhagavatam. Someone can say, Prabhu, I have taste for service, but I don't have taste for Bhagavatam. No, it can't be. You may not be intellectual or inquisitive to study Bhagavatam, but you should have the eagerness to hear Bhagavatam. Nothing stops you from hearing or relishing the katha. When you say, I can't sit for Bhagavatam, you should be able to hear Bhagavatam whenever possible. Say, I can't sit with Bhagavatam, I'm feeling sleepy whenever I sit with Bhagavatam. Okay, maybe you are more like a hands-legs person, not the brain thing person. But it's okay. You, wherever you are, you be here in the lecture. Somebody will do that. So somebody will be used to hearing. It's okay. That is also Krishna Katha only. So relishing Bhagavatam, you should widen that connotation. Otherwise, one person who is intellectual say, hey, you are in Maya, you are not sitting for Bhagavatam at all. And they will say, you are in Maya, you are only reading Bhagavatam, you don't have taste for Seva. They also don't understand this is also Seva. This is Seva. What we are serving Krishna, we are serving all our intelligence, everything to solidify our knowledge, solidify our concepts. So when this, what is that sloka? Beautiful. So I think I might have told this before, but beautiful sloka in Brahma Samhita. This comes after your Katipaya and all that. You know, we have that, with that we end, no? Like Shriya Kanta, Paramapurusha Kalpataro, that one. But after this only the main sloka start. That is where so far Brahma's prayers, these are. But after that Vishnu is responding. Pancha Shlokim Imam Vishnu. 5 slokas that Vishnu speaks as a result, as a response to Brahma's prayers. In that also one sloka is very, very important. Please repeat this verse. Pramanaihi tat sadacharaihi tat abhyasaihi nirantaram bodhayan atmanaha atmanam bhaktim api uttamam labet. This is the best sloka in the entire Brahma Samhita. Because this is the essence of your Uttama Bhakti. How to attain Uttama Bhakti, step by step, is beautifully giving. Vishnu is telling this. Pramanaihi, Pramanas, our Shastras. Right? Pramanas, these are the Pramanas that we have. Bhakti, Bhagavatam, all books that we have. Right? You have to be with the Pramanas. And from Pramanas also, you just don't read for the sake of it. That's Sad Acharaihi. Take the Sad Achar. If you are reading Puranjana story, take the Sadachars from each of these characters. What you should do, what you should not do, all that. Tad, you have taken out the Sadachar. From Dhruva, you learn determination. From Prahlada, you learn surrender. From say, Parikshit Maharaj, you learn Shravanam. Like that, each one of them you learn. So that is Sadachar. Tad, after that, what you should do, just simply learning is not enough. Tad abhyasahi, we have to put it into practice. You have to practice it. And that also not once in a while. You will say, I every year once I read Bhagavad Gita. And Gita Jayanti day I read Bhagavad Gita. And rest of the 364 days, what is happening? So, Nirantaram. Nirantaram we should do abhyas. Every day, regularly we should do that abhyas. Abhyas of what? Abhyas of what? The Sadachars you learned from the Paramanas. Right? That is the main thing. And after this also the mind will freak out. You say, no, I cannot do. Come on, you're crazy rascal. What are you thinking? I want to go out and enjoy. Always sitting with Bhagavad Gita. I was pushing me into this. No, see, our S.B. Keshav Maharaj, because he's so long he was sitting with Bhagavad Gita, he's written such nice books on Bhagavad Gita. Nice realizations in different ways, easily understandable way, in many ways. So many of them have written, each one have their own realizations, isn't it? So tat sadacharaihi, tat abhyasaihi nirantaram. Because after that also mind will freak out. So you have to bodhayan. You have to preach to the mind. Here the atmanaha, atmanam. Atma refers to mind also, Atma refers to body also, Atma refers to Atma also. Okay. Bodhayan atmanaha atmanam. You preach to the mind with the soul. Intelligence is the closest to the soul because it has all the right things and wrong things not to do and all that. So here, intelligence is the closest thing. So preach from the soul to the intelligence, buddhi, and buddhi to the mind. So this is how the sequence is. Bodhayan atmanaha atmanam. This is bhakti mapi uttamam labhed. By doing this, you will attain the ultimate, the highest bhakti. How nice this sequence is. Pramanaihi, study properly, swadhyay, do it properly, take out the sajachar from there, then the abhyasaihi nirantaram, all to continuously practice, put into practice those sadachars. Then bodhayan atmanah atmanam, when your mind, when it freaks out, preach, hey, you don't do this, your life will be spoiled. Do you want to again go into the chakra of 84 lakh yonis? You ask this question. This is how you should preach to the mind. You tell the mind, oh no, you will get Krishna Prema, all these things, the mind will not accept. Threaten it like that shock treatment Chitraketu's son gave, no? The other day we were talking about it. Like that we should give shock treatment to the mind. Then only it will accept. Bodhayan atmanah atmanam, then mind will come to terms and then uttamam labhed bhakti. These are all the bodhayan that we are doing to the mind. Too much enjoyment, sense enjoyment in the young age is suffering in the old age. So we will at least regulate the thing. Uttahara viharasya. If we don't have that understanding, this fear at all, we will have unrestricted sense enjoyment. So old age, you will run to the hospitals all the time. You understand? So old age is not supposed to be that way. So old age is supposed to guide everybody. Because when we are young age, we have the knowledge, but we don't have the experience. When you are old, along with the knowledge, we have the experience also. That is why Prabhupada and all our spiritual masters are so much sought after. Why? Because they had the wisdom and they were using all through their life, they were practicing Krishna consciousness, because of which they could get the knowledge also, realization and wisdom also, and the worldly wise experience also. Simply knowledge alone will be like what do you call it? It will be like a just a theoretical knowledge will not help much. To a certain extent, it will help, right? It will not help in the real sense of the term. Those who are looking for answers to their questions, they want practical, practically applicable answers to their questions. If there's somebody is asking question, you can't just say Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita this, our Kapil Muni is saying in Bhagavatam this. Simply you quote verses here and there. It will be nice to hear, but you cannot put into practice. That is why Bhagavatam should be seen from a practical point of view. Everything. Worship. That is why Prabhupada's purports are so glorious and so magnificent, marvelous. See, who can give this thing? This last line is the beautiful practical application for us. Read it again. The last line of the purport of the first.
Sex during youth, the more he suffers in old age.
Yeah, because he is not able to control his thing. All the senses are disturbed and worth. And then you, in the old age, you will suffer for it. And Prabhupada is giving many such, reasons further on it. So you have to learn two things from here. One is about the dangers of the disease, how they are all sitting within our own body. They are waiting to come out at the right time. right? This coronavirus also, it is sitting inside. Anytime it will come out. These things are there. Second thing is, the more you enjoy sense gratification in your young age, the more you suffer in the old age. You should ask the mind, Bodhayan Atman Atman, do you want to suffer in the old age? No. Then you please better sit with Bhagavatam now. If you sit with holiness and Bhagavatam, mind will not go here and there. Right? So you will be peaceful. You will get the same. See, we are not cheating the mind. We are actually giving the same higher enjoyment without destroying its longevity, sanctity. Understand? Okay. How much to read from each one line? And we have to do 65 slokas today. So Samarpanam Prabhu is very cruel to us. Let's move on. Next.
Once the dangerous soldiers attacked the city of Puranjan with great force. Although the city was full of paraphernalia for sense gratification, it was being protected by the old serpent.
Yeah. See, these dangerous soldiers are the diseases. They are all attacking, right? With great force, they are attacking. And there is so much facility within this body for sense gratification. Like if you keep me something here, I have my hand to go and get it. I have that facility, right? You cannot give it to some trees. Trees cannot go and get it. They don't have that facility. And with my eyes, I can see some beautiful these things and get enjoyment. With my tongue, I can get so many beautiful things and enjoyment. So all these facilities are given to us. And it was being protected by the old serpent. Who is that old serpent here? That serpent was young in the 2 chapters ago. Now, in this chapter, he has become old. Who is that serpent? No, 5 vayus. Five hood here, serpent. So, pranavayu, apanavayu, udana, vyana, samana. These vayus slowly, they just go slow down or load, reduce in its capacity to protect. This pranavayu, this vayu is there, no. Even it's all other things, like suppose seeing capacity goes away, this sense loses power, or hearing capacity goes away. Still the pranavayu, as long as these vayus are there, this body will be alive. Correct? So this is the last thing to lie. But then it is slowly losing its capacity. And because this is losing its capacity, all the other senses are also losing their capacity. And the soldiers, the diseased soldiers are becoming more and more strong. At the end of the day, this lesson is the greatest lesson in Bhagavatam because it is the greatest signs of how our body loses its capacity with the growing age. Scientifically, this is explained. The more you read, the more you will start relishing Puranjana stories. Right? Let's read the purport.
One's body gratification, it becomes weaker and weaker daily. Finally, the vital force becomes so weak that it is herein compared to a weak serpent. The life here has already been compared to the serpent.
So that is the vital force. The prana vayu, the vayu is there, no? That is the vital force. It's the last thing to leave the body. As long as it is there, doctors also don't declare you as dead. Right? And it is the only thing that makes everything work. In this whole body, every organ works because of the power of that vital force. That is the vayu. And that vayu is generated from your heart. When the heart beats, and the heart beats it there, from there only. I am not telling this. And Prabhupada is telling the purport. Scientifically saying. So look at the 369, the same verse which we read yesterday. And Prabhupada will say how the vayu is generated in this body, how it is working. If you take that 369, beautiful connection it is. That translation you read, then you will appreciate Prabhupada's purport because you can't understand even one word of the translation. I will tell you. Read the translation first.
Form is represented by 3, 10, and 1 in the sense. 10 and 1, and in the sense that he is the body, mind, and senses. He is the dynamic force for all movements by
The gigantic universal form is represented by 3, 10, and 1 in the sense that he is the body and the mind and the senses. He is the dynamic force for all moments by 10 kinds of life energy, and he is the one heart where life energy is generated.
Do you understand anything in this? I told you. Some translations, you won't understand ABCD of it. But then you read the purport, you will appreciate it better. Second paragraph you read. Second paragraph of the purport.
The movements of the body are first generated from the heart, and all the activities of the body are made possible by the senses, powered by the 10 kinds of air within the body.
All the activities of the body are made by the senses, powered by the 10 kinds of air within the body. Now, the movements of the body are first generated from the heart, right? The activities are made possible, powered by the 10 kinds of air within the body. Like we saw, opening of the eyes, closing of the eyes, mouth, all those things are happening by the Naga air, Krakara air, Kurma air, Devadatta and all that. Now, all these 10 different functions we already read. Yesterday we read this. This pranavayu, we read this yesterday. We do not read that again. The next one you read this, all these airs.
All these airs are generated from the center of the heart, which is one only. This central energy is the superior energy of the Lord, who is seated within the heart along with the soul, who acts under the guidance of the Lord. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita as follows. Sarvasachaham hridasannivishto matta smritirgyanam apohanam cha vedesya sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. The complete central force is generated from the heart by the Lord, who is seated there and who helps the conditioned soul in remembering and forgetting.
That's enough. I just stop there. After that, Prabhupada talks about forgetfulness, remembrance and all. But now you understand the sequence. Super soul is there. Super soul is in the heart because of his soul is in the heart. And because of the presence of the super soul, this heart is generating these 10 kinds of airs. And these 10 kinds of airs are helping with the movement of the body, activities of the different senses, etc. Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, these are all functioning because of the 10 airs. And these 10 airs are generated by from the heart by the presence of the soul, super soul and soul. This is how the sequence works. So the moment Atma Paramatma decides to leave, then the heartbeat stops and the force which pushes the 10 airs stops. So the air leaves. The air leaves, person is dead. That's all. How simple and foolproof this is. Very simple. That's how they just touch here and they say, finished, gone. Hari bol ho gaya. Very simple. You don't have to put all those things and artificial things. It's not needed at all. Well, they are trying to put air inside the thing to the thing. Man, but the Atma and Paramatma are finished. How much ever air you put, what will you work? They don't understand this science at all. Okay. We have to read this further, no?
Yeah.
This purport. 3 to second verse, yeah.
Second?
That only we are reading, no? Second word.
Second. The life air has already been compared to the serpent. When the vital force within the body becomes weak, the body itself also becomes weak. At such a time, the death symptoms, that is, the dangerous soldiers of death's superintendent Yamraj, begin to attack very severely. According to the Vedic system, before coming to such a stage, one should leave home and take sannyas to preach the message of God for the duration of life. However, if one sits at home
manam gachet, we say that, no?
And is served by his beloved wife and children, he certainly becomes weaker and weaker due to sense gratification.
So who are the children here? The different parts of the body, the different desires, they are all serving very nicely for this body. So I am saying that as long as the digestion thing works, I can eat anything and everything I want. But the moment the doctor says that your digestion is weak, you have to avoid these vegetables, these items. You cannot eat this anymore. You cannot eat that anymore. Then we have to reduce it. Right? So, but the person is very attached to this thing. As long as he is attached, he is taking care of them so nicely, and they are also reciprocating. But when they become weak, when he becomes weak, they will stop serving him. That's what is going to happen here. Let's read further.
And when death finally comes, one leaves the body devoid of spiritual assets.
It's a beautiful word, spiritual assets.
And the
See, Prabhupada uses the words assets. I told you, no, you have to focus on these words. Why spiritual assets? No. In English terms, what do you call as an asset? Even in that also, what do you call that? Why do you call it as an asset?
was dependent on.
What do you call as an asset? I have an asset means what? This is my asset. That will stay with you forever. That is what is asset means. Your house is an asset. Once you buy it, it's an asset, isn't it? You look for Google dictionary, all that, Oxford dictionary, whatever. That's what is asset. If you're in a rental home, you will say it's an asset for you. It's not an asset. Right? In the other way, they call it liability, which I have to give. Asset means I don't have to owe anything to anybody. This is mine. So the spiritual assets, Prabhupada is using this word spiritual assets. Means it will be with you. Once you learn this shloka and understand its meaning, it will be with you forever. That is your spiritual asset. Once you get the taste for the holy names, it will be with you. What happened? Once you have the taste for the holy names, it will be with you as long as you keep serving. So it's your asset. Got it? There's a difference between talent and asset. Talent is, you acquire it materially and it can come, it can be gone. But asset doesn't go. Your, how should I say, the taste for the holy names, taste for devotional service is an asset for you. So it will be always with you, as long as you continue to utilize it in Krishna service. Let's continue.
At the present time, even the oldest man in the family does not leave home, being attracted by wife, children, money, opulence, dwelling, etc. Thus, at the end of life, one worries about his wife will be protected, and how she will manage the great family responsibilities. In this way, a man usually thinks of his wife before death. According to Bhagavad Gita, at the end of life, a person thinks of what he has done throughout his whole life. Thus, he gets another body, Dehantara, according to his thoughts and desires at the end of life. One overly addicted to life at home naturally thinks of his beloved wife at the end of life. Consequently, in the next life, he gets the body of a woman, and he also acquires the results of his pious and impious activities. In this chapter, the acceptance of woman's body by King Puranjan will be thoroughly explained.
Now, nicely proposing a summary here. Because the Puranjana is always going to think about his wife, how she was serving, all those things, always thinking about, because of the intelligence is giving you all the memories and, all different things. This I did, this I didn't do, this is nice, this is wrong, all those things. So he is attached to all those paraphernalias given by intelligence. So throughout his life, whatever is that memories that he carries as a result of the intelligence, that's what he'll going to carry. And he was so much attached to the intelligence, that is a wife, that he is keeping on remembering that only. And so he takes the life of a woman in the next life. Let's go further. Next translation. Any questions, comments so far? Okay, let's go.
Gradually, Kalakanya, with the help of dangerous soldiers, attacked all the inhabitants of Puranjan city and thus rendered them useless for all purposes.
So, this is very Kalakanya with the help of dangerous soldiers, all these diseases. Kalakanya is who? Old age. And he is getting nice company with all the different soldiers. Hmm? So as we grow older and older, our diseases start to get old more and more, as we discussed already. So there's more support from this thing. Otherwise, in young age, the diseases don't get so much support to carry on, to stay for a longer time, isn't it? How nicely they both work together. But in the but the old age, what did we read yesterday? For devotees who are surrendered to Narada Muni's knowledge and his shelter, for them old age does not affect them. They don't grow old. They continue to serve enthusiastically, right? So that's the difference between a materialistic person and a devotee. Okay, let's go to the next verse. The same point is discussed. I summarized it already.
When Kalakanya, daughter of time, attacked the body, the dangerous soldiers of the king of the Yavanas entered the city through different gates. They then began to give severe trouble to all the citizens.
So now citizens are inside. Who is that? All the so many different grandsons, great grandsons. They are all the different parts of the body. These are all the different gates. So Maharaj used to give a very interesting Ayurvedic this thing to any ailments or illness that comes, sickness basically. He'll say Langanam Paramaushadam. You might have heard it. Langanam means close your mouth. Paramaushadam is the greatest medicine. Why? Because our Ayurvedic thing is even more sophisticated than this allopathy. Maharaj used to call it allopathy is allopathy. Allahipati. So this is the only entry point for anything from outside. Solid things from outside. Through ears you cannot put. Through nose you cannot put. Through eyes you cannot put. That is for a different thing. But food or any solid items or liquid item, whatever, external items, go through this hole only, this gate only. So Langanam, if you close this thing, automatically our parts will cleanse the whatever is the ailment there, it will automatically clear and take it out. So two things we should do. One is stop speaking, because the more you speak, the more problem will be there. Mental problem will be there because of speaking. If you want to use your tongue, only use it for chanting and swadhyay. And the other thing that you don't stop taking food completely. Within 1 or 2 days, automatically the fever will go away. Because all the entry point is here. You understand? Even somewhere the drainage or something gets stuck. What you will do? First, the plumber will come and stop the source. He will close the tank. First, he will close that valve in the tank. Then he will go and find out where the problem is and maybe push it or something, and it will automatically go away. Right? Isn't it true? That's what they do. First, they go and close the main supply. So this is the main supply. So you stop this main supply part. Then for us, Krishna's plumbing is so sophisticated that you don't need external things so much. You just leave it, put it into fasting for some time, then automatically the things will go away, clear out. Now, the same thing now they are coming up with this modern thing called intermittent fasting. Have you heard that? Right? Have you heard it? All of you must have heard it. This is nothing but from our Ayurvedic science only. Langanam Paramaushadam, they are changing the words and they are saying intermittent fasting. See, already all you people are two-timers, huh? Two-timers, 2-timers means you give enough rest for the body. After 4:30, you are not eating anything in the evening. Till next day, for 10 o'clock, it is what? 4:30 to next day, 4 o'clock, it is 12 hours. Another 6 hours is 16 hours already. They are giving recommendation that 16 hours you should give rest to the body after solid food. Don't take anything solid for 6 hours. These rascals, they are getting it from our knowledge and they are claiming patent for this. And our people are avdutas, they don't care anything. They are like, take whatever you want. And they will come and get the same teaching they will give us. Langanam Paravasham, then forget. Intermittent fasting everywhere. You go to any website, intermittent fasting, intermittent. When you're supposed to fast intermittently, what are you giving name for that? Always putting something in the mouth means this thing will keep on working. You should give rest to the intestine and kidney and all. You want rest. Don't you think your parts want rest? Simple items. See how beautiful these words are. Okay, let's go further. See, now Prabhupada is going to give beautiful, very pictorial or very, what do you call that as? Descriptive, very graphical descriptions are, yes.
The body has 9 gates: 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, mouth, rectum, and genitals. When one is harassed by the invalidity of old age, various diseases manifest at the gates of the body.
See, various diseases manifest at the gates of the body. Here, this is a gate, cataract. That is one thing. One example. Right? Here one gate, hearing problem. Okay. Then piles, one more gate. Right? All these gates, that is because in a fort, these gates are the first they will attack. That is the way to enter in. Right? So all these, here, diabetes. so many are there. So all the gates are the entry points for the diseases. So we should make sure that we keep the gate strong. The gate strong means don't keep on opening and closing, opening. This mouth you keep on opening, closing, opening, then it becomes loose. Open only when you have to eat. Right? You keep on eating, no? In the train or anywhere you go, all snacks or something, continuously, whatever comes, they will buy. Have you seen that? Once Maharaj was going in the train and he was busy with Bhagavad Gita chanting. 16 hours the train journey was there. He was chanting continuing. One family was there. Big family, Gujarati family. You know how any Gujaratis here? No Gujaratis here? I can peacefully say this. They come with more baggage of food than the actual baggage itself. And all the day they will be eating, continuously eating. Going to the toilet, eating continuously. That's why Maharaj said a very beautiful statement. The more you time in your kitchen, the more time you will spend in the bathroom. It's connected. The more time you spend in the dining room and kitchen, the more time you spend in the bathroom. The more you eat, the more you will go. So it's a food means, man, 15 minutes, boil some rice and dal, get khichdi done, go to Bhagavatam, man. Why you waste your time? Oh, yesterday I took khichdi. Today I should take dal rice. Today I took dal rice. Tomorrow something else. For others, okay, you have to do. For one's own self, don't enjoy your suffering. That is it. It's so much it is. And all the gates are open for diseases. Let's read further. This is a very pictorial description of all that you will get.
For example, the eyes become so dim that one requires spectacles.
Very simple, very straightforward. Dim, you have to spectacles.
And the ears become too weak to hear directly. And therefore, one requires hearing aids. The nostrils are blocked by mucus, and one has to always sniff a medicinal bottle containing ammonia.
Prabhupada is a pharmacist, so he has given this medicine to so many people in writing all these things.
Similarly, the mouth, too weak to chew, requires false teeth.
This is so true, no? Already, people, so many of us have false teeth.
The rectum also gives one.
Samapana Prabhu is thinking about it, is already into that. Prabhupada has written about this thing 50 years ago. 50, 60 years ago. No, even now it holds. And the false teeth thing has become even more, they take modern thing. Root canal, or what do you call that as? Screwing. There's what is that? No, bridge. And then they put a bridge. And then they, another thing, the implantation. Tooth implant. Hmm? Who false? Then that they call it as denture, false teeth. All these things we have to put just to chew things because we are chewing so much in the young age. We have to replace it with some other. Let's read further. Prabhupada is not stopping there.
The rectum also gives one trouble and the evacuation process becomes difficult.
See how true this is. Evacuation process becomes difficult. Prabhupada is really is getting into it. This purport. So many problems. What is that? Constipation, digestion problem, or loose motion. Digestion is also difficult. Intestine problem. Something gets stuck. And then what is that? Anemia. Prabhupada tells about enemas. Read that further.
Sometimes one has to take enemas and sometimes use surgical nozzle to accelerate the passing of urine.
See, this how true this is. When nowadays, when you go to the hospital, first thing they will do is they will pierce in two places. One is they will pierce here to put a permanent injection, isn't it? Permanently they will place. Once you go to ICU, like they give you an ID card, no, in our companies. Like that, first thing they do is they put a permanent injection and put a bandage on top of it. Anytime any nurse will come and push, push, push. And then what they are putting, we don't know. And they don't even care who that person is. Which injection they are putting to whom, we don't know. For my grandmother, it happened. She was quite all right. One lady came and one nurse came and put some injection and she started behaving in a very crazy way. Then it looked like she was going to leave the body. Then my father and I, we saw that these people are not doing their duty properly. We complained to the chief doctor and told, I don't know what they did. Now she is not in her consciousness. You better tell whether she will be alive or not. We'll take her home. Then they realized, they said it's something else. They said, no, one more day we have to keep in ICU. To put in ICU, they did this so that they can get more money. After we put in the ICU, and then they give proper push in medicine. And next day, she was quite all right. Then the moment she became all right, we said to the doctor, we will take her home. No more treatment from you. Then he said, she came. She actually fell from the first floor to the ground floor. 84 years old. She was about to put in that age also she will wash and dry her cloth herself. So she went and wanting to put the cloth. She fell from the top to the ground. And in the ground was all rods and everything was there. Somehow she survived. Only back was broken. And she was put in the hospital. We just saw that she survived. And we took her home. Forcibly, we took her home. And she had a chance always. So first thing I went and showed her to our DTs, Jagannath Vasudhara. I asked, okay, tell me who are these? Wanted to find out if she is consciousness all right. He was like off like this. He said, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, okay, you're all right. Fine, you're no more moving. Then she was perfectly all right. Within a short time, she was taking curd rice and all little thing, and she became perfectly all right. And she was starting to wash my clothes again. The doctor said she has taken a ticket to Vaikuntha. Now just to keep her as long as she is just a few months alive. After that, 5 years she was alive, and every year she came and pulled the rath. And she would wash my dhoti and all the vessels and everything. With all they gave, you have to wear the belt always. Otherwise she will break. Because this thing fused. Now she is not ready for surgery, they said. And then we said, okay, however long she can live. But she said, this belt is inconvenient for me. She threw it away. And without the belt only, she was alive for 5 years. With all the fuse and this and that, they had to crush and disc, bulgy disc, all those things, nothing. So all these are in the mind finally at the end of the day. These parts and all, the doctor says immediately we accept. We should learn to live with these diseases also. That is important. If we don't do that, then we cannot survive these onslaughts of these Yavaneshwara soldiers. Let's continue and finish this thing. See, and two things I told you, they'll put the hole. Now, one is this here, one is in your passing urine thing. They'll put one more nozzle there that how painful it will be to put some nozzle to take things out. That is how this treatment is so horrible. That is what is dukkha aushadam tadapi dukkha matadhyaham. The dukkha, the dukkha aushadhi is even more terrible than the actual dukkha itself. Better to die instead of that. Please read and finish this.
In this way, the city of Puranjan was attacked at various gates by the soldiers. Thus, in old age, all the gates of the body are blocked by so many diseases, and one has to take help of so many medicines and surgical appliances.
This is Prabhupada's eternal purport. Anywhere you want to go, you can read this purport, and they will be. They cannot say one word against this. Right? Let's read the next one.
When the city was thus endangered by the soldiers and Kalakanya, King Puranjan, being overly absorbed in affection for his family, was placed in difficulty by the attack of Yavanaraj and Kalakanya.
Purport.
When we refer to the body, we include the external gross body with its various limbs, as well as the mind, intelligence, and ego. In old age, these all become weak when they are attacked by different diseases. The proprietor of the body, the living soul, becomes very sad at not being able to use the field of activities properly.
Field of activities. What is that? Kshetra. Kshetrajna, kshetra. So he is not able to use the body, which is the field of the activities, properly. He wants to, the mind wants to get something, but the hand is not working. The mind wants to eat something, but you cannot because of the restrictions in foodstuffs. Right? The desire is there. That's what the biggest problem for old age is. The desires will be there, but you cannot fulfill them. Even if you have all the money and facility and everything. Initially, you only think, I don't have money. So because of which I cannot fulfill. But now all money, facility, servants, everybody will be there, but still you cannot fulfill it. See, that's a pathetic situation. This world, the more people try to enjoy this world, the more they have to understand the reality. With all the facilities they have, you cannot enjoy unless and until Krishna allows. You can have everything. You can. Maharaj always used to say, that is the only lucky person who has the riches also and uses it for his enjoyment also. Uses it for in the service and enjoyment. If you can't keep you can have loads and loads of money in the bank. If you cannot keep up your healthy body, eat healthy food stuff, then what is the point in that having that money? That's what Maharaj would say, man, you don't give it to me. At least use it for wearing proper clothes, for eating good, nourishing food. At least have that. These people who are earning so much, running around with meetings, man, they can't eat the food at the proper time. In their house, they will give all the food, proper food, nice food. They can't eat it. They will be so cold, they will have to heat it in the microwave and eat there. And for us, we are not millionaires. Hot khichdi is right there in front of in the plate, isn't it? This is the healthiest way of life. Once what happened in Nashik, I was with Maharaj. Usually I go there for a few days to serve him. So the personal servant, they take some vacation for meet their parents. And Maharaj will call me to come over. So I will take Thursday, Friday off, and 3-4 days together I will just go meet him. So when I go there, Maharaj will teach me all how to make rotis, khichdi, sabji, how he will give the science behind that also. How roti is very healthy, or khichdi is why it is healthy, like that. So what we'll do is, it's just this ashram, so we want to have elaborate other things. So we'll do the Mangalarti and chanting, and then Maharaj will come and show me the cooking, how we're doing. And he will make nice hot khichdi with some little sabji, whatever. And we'll offer it to the deity, and then will sit in the kitchen by the side of the kitchen only, and I will serve and he will take. We'll take prasadam. Maharaj said a very interesting statement. Even if you are a millionaire, this is a dream in this age. Getting hot prasadam in your plate and eating it, it's a dream. You can be rich, millionaire, billionaire, whatever, but you cannot have this. What is rich life? With all the riches you have, bank manager is enjoying, and you are not enjoying that at all. You are eating some stale food, man. this from Bombay, they make the paratas or rotis. And it is packed in a nice tight pack, polythene pack, whatever. Then it is sent into a refrigerator container. Then after a month, it is sent to the shipyard. From there, it goes 3 months later to America. And there, after 1 month, it is sent to the Indian groceries, Patel groceries or whatever the groceries they have. Pakistani grocery, and they put it inside deep freeze there also. Here, one lady is rolling chapatis today in July, and a boy is buying that in December and goes and puts it in the microwave. It heats up and then eats and says, lovely, lovely, lovely. What is lovely in that 6 months old stale paratha? What, who gave? Uh-huh.
That you are making so much roti here, difficult. We have brought this showed us how it will be done.
This is the thing. And how many times it is heated? Reheat. It's all the vital thing in there, the nourishment, everything is gone. Isn't it? The more and more you identify machines. Our Dadima and all were just rolling, sitting kitchen and then putting in the ghee and do right hard thing in your plate. 4 or 5 children will be sitting around. She will just make and throw in one plate here, and in between she will also chew and here and there. How healthy that lifestyle is. Isn't it? Now there's so much staleness in our life. We are moving around so much, our life has become stale. We are moving so fast in air and bus and car and train, but our life has become stale. Those days, they were all moving slowly in Belgadi only, but their life was more active. Dadimas and Dadas, they would be more active than us. Let's read further. Now, next verse, no? No, this verse, it's a purport we haven't completed. Yeah, please.
In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained that the living entity is the proprietor of this body, Kshetragya, and that the body is the field of activities, Kshetra. When a field is overgrown with thorns and weeds, it becomes very difficult for the work.
See how nicely Prabhupada is explaining. In a field, all these thorns and weeds are all grown. To remove it, you have to struggle so much. Same way in our body also, all these different things have grown. And we are getting used to that also. The one important thing we have to understand is that these weeds and all, if you don't remove them regularly, then they become, we get used to it. In our home also, all these different things are just lying down like a dump there. When you keep on seeing for 1 week, 10 days, then you get used to it. You don't feel like removing it. That's part of it. Right? When some pipe is there, the tap is not working, you will get used to it. The hot water, cold water, one thing will not work. Then you say, at least one is working, let it work. So you don't fix it immediately, then we'll get used to it. Then that is a problem. One by one, slowly things will go away. So very important. This body also, it's not that for every small things you have to go to the doctor. The real doctor is Vaishnav, what is that? Trishito Janavi Toyam Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. Aushadhi Janavi Toyam, sorry. Aushadhi Janavi Toyam, Ganga water is the real Aushadhi. Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. You chant the holy names of Narayana, he is the Vaidya. That's our Ayurveda statement. So let's read further. That is the position.
That is the position of the spirit soul when the body itself becomes a burden due to disease. Extra burdens are placed on the body in the form of anxiety and general deterioration of the bodily function.
Anxiety again, mind is also adding more trouble to it. This anxiety, what is that? Chinta se chaturai ghate rang rupavan. Chinta badi abagini, chinta chita saman. You have heard this? This is a beautiful thing. This only, anxiety, chinta. There is two things. One is chinta, another is chintan. You should do chintan, means you should thinking. Chintan means contemplating or inquisitiveness. That is chintan. Chinta is anxiety and worry. You should avoid chinta and you should focus on chintan. Okay. Chinta se chaturai gate. Chaturai means your alertness, your smartness. It goes away. You are always worried about something, you will lose this thing, capacity. Then gate ranga rupavan. Ranga rupavan means your tejas, your long face, like a rotten banana. Even the good intelligence and everything you have will be gone. People will not feel happy to see you. Anybody who comes, you have a long face like this. Man, ship is drowned or what? You are getting prasadam, your hands and legs are moving, you are getting sleep, people are taking care of you. Smile, na. So difficult to get the smile out of people. Devotees at least a little bit smile. Outside you go, it's a crazy world. This is really that lack of smile is the real reason for diseases. So chinta se chaturai ghate. Ghate means destroyed, goes down. Ghate ranga rupavan. Your watch also doesn't come properly. See, when people come for sing, ask them to read shloka, they will not read. And it's okay. You don't, man, you are not doing a favor to us. You are doing a favor to yourself by reciting the shloka. We are doing a favor to you by asking you to read. And it's okay. What is it's okay? Nothing is okay for you. And I didn't bring my specs. It's okay, we'll give our specs to you. For everything else, specs is fair. Specs is without specs you can do. But only when it comes to reading shloka, no, I don't know Sanskrit. That is why we are asking you to recite so that you will learn Sanskrit. This is real rascaldom when people just all the way you come to the program and you don't want to read. We should make it very strict. We should not feel like, hey, that person will feel bad, he's new. Kick them out if they don't want to recite this sloka. What for you come here? When we were enjoying the slokas reciting so nicely, we are requesting you to enjoy the same thing which we are enjoying. This is why we say in our Tamil say, the donkey does not know the camphor's importance. You go and show the camphor to the donkey, it will not smell it. It will not enjoy its smell. This you go and give Shrikant to a pig, it will not taste it. That same Shrikant you put it inside the gutter, it will taste. This is what people are. How much we should be thankful to Prabhupada for saving us from that dump. Like how Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my Guru Narad Muni saved me from that junk association, horrible association. Ritvatmasat. He wanted to not only save me, he wanted to make me as great a devotee as he is, as pure a devotee as he is. Kritva Atmasat means making one as good as himself. That should be the mood of a spiritual master. That is why he is saying, I am eternally grateful to him. Amazing quality, no? So this Chinta se chaturai gate ranga rupavan, Chinta badi abhagini. Abhagini means most unfortunate. Abhagini. Chinta badi abhagini, Chinta chita saman. Chita, you know what it is. And Chinta is as good as Chita. Why? Because Chinta burns the live body, Chita burns the dead body. There, if you see in Hindi, there's only bindu matram vishishyate. Chintayascha, chitayascha, bindu matram vishishyate. There's only the bindu, the dot is the only difference between chinta and chita. Chita dahati nirjivam, chinta dahati jivanam. Chita burns a dead body, chinta burns a live body. There's no difference between the two. So don't worry at all. Don't unnecessarily carry so much worry and all. This soul is worried because of the worry is dilapidated even more. Even if your old age is there, that is why Bhagavatam helps us. Now this Krishna consciousness help us. Why? Because you accept that old age means disease will be there. Bhagavatam again and again repeats this point. Old age means disease will be there. Old age means invalidity will be there. Your senses will be all go down. You have to accept it. Your teeth will go down, your hearing capacity will go down. You accept it. No unnecessary counteracting that. Every time you counteract this material energies thing, the more and more deeper into the illusion you will go. That is the reality. Brahma is telling to Prithu Maharaj, the more you try to counteract this guy's nonsense, you are getting into that same gutter. He is a pig throwing gutter at you. You ignore him, clear that gutter and move on. That gutter move on, you are okay, happy. But if you want to throw the gutter, you have to enter into that gutter. He is in the modes. He will drag you to the modes also. Why are you doing this? Just ignore. You understand? You understand the point here. So, chinta yascha chita yascha bindu matram vishishate. Chinta dahati, chita dahati nirjivam, chinta dahati jivanam. So don't get worried at all. Worry, when you are accepting these things, Bhagavatam says these things, you accept these things. When old age comes, hearing capacity goes down, speaking capacity goes down, seeing capacity goes down, you accept. You will not counteract. And you will live longer. Whether others who don't have Bhagavatam message, they will say, no, I have to have clear vision till my last life. So go do this operation, that operation. And every time you do the operation, it reduces the capacity even more. You give lakhs and lakhs of money to simply, how many people go to the hospital, just give lakhs and lakhs to do some small surgery here, they end up as dead body for coming outside. So many people I have seen personally myself. So many people. And lifelong disease. You go inside with one small disease, you come back with lifelong disease. And they'll say you, this is the medicine you have to take for lifelong. Diabetes is an artificially induced disease. So that so many industries, those companies can get benefited. What is this insulin thing and all? They were by creating some artificial this thing. Now this corona thing they did no. Everything is artificial induced ones. All those who are living in the city lifestyle, they were only getting corona. Have you ever heard this? Those people who will shoot the birds, they are in the forest. They will do that. Have you ever heard them get corona? They will never wash, they will never take bath throughout 1 year. They will not take bath at all. How much disease they should be getting? Who is protecting them from corona and all? I went to one doctor who is a Vaishnava. She is a Sri Vaishnava. He told me this. Because they all go around and doing that money, the chains and all they do, that's their occupation. They never get any cancer or any disease in their life. We are those who are getting all those things. They don't have diabetes. Why? Lifestyle, no, they are always living in the forest. They have nothing to, they eat just a normal this thing. So when we keep our food habits and healthy lifestyle, we can live much better. Much more healthy life. Don't die before you die. Die only once. We die every day. Go to the hospital, we have to die. Be patient. The doctor says, you be patient. And Bhagavatam also says, be patient. Bhagavatam says, we don't accept. Free of cost, it is telling. The doctor charges you and tells you, be patient. I will put you injection, be patient. I will take blood from you, be patient. Bhagavatam says, I will not take blood, I will not put blood. Be patient. We don't want that patience. Crazy, I tell you. Yeah. We have to go and teach these things for a healthy lifestyle. Forget about Krishna Prema. At least come to healthy lifestyle. Krishna Prema we'll see later. Come and eat nice rasgullas, nice pastries, nice cakes, and nice pizzas, pastas. We go in the restaurant. Come and enjoy this here. Instead of eating junk outside. See what consciousness those people are while they're cooking that. Let's read further. Fifth verse, or sixth verse. Break, yeah. Sorry. You wanted, you haven't had prasadam in the morning, no? Please have. So, Prabhu's online, we will have a half an hour break now. because you all have to take prasadam also. Sorry, some things went in a flow and we forgot to. I think we are almost there, no, Prabhu. 12:35, you wanted to break. 12:40, it's okay. So we will come at 1:10. Please try to have prasadam quickly. We are having one nice purport. I thought we will get to that purport. Prabhupada says about eating thing. Nice, very, very nice prasad, and especially for brahmacharis. He tells that. So it's a very beautiful purport. So eat less. So we'll come back and quickly so that you can also enjoy. My recording was not done. That's okay, doesn't matter. At least those who are hearing, it's fine. So he was literally amazed how these people are moving around, running around. And his Prabhupada started the movement like this. And now you see, who can build a temple like this? There are so many beautiful temples. In that Juhu story book, Giriraj Maharaj write that one person from Amsterdam, he saw Radha Krishna picture and he liked it. He's a hippie, but he is pursuing some architecture degree. That's the only thing. So he comes all the way. Somebody he went to ISKCON in Amsterdam. He asked the local devotees, I want to know more about this. Where can I? Our guru is in Bombay. You can go and meet him there. Those days, imagine, it's not like they will give address and staying place, nothing. They told him, you go to Bombay. He just went to Bombay. He came to Bombay and he was running around looking for where is ISKCON. Those days ISKCON was short, just a small this thing. They had some pandal program. That's all. Nobody knew what is ISKCON. Though, and for Prabhupada also they were calling Swamiji. To his surprise, he entered. He came and met one of our devotees, and they brought him to Guru Giriraj Maharaj. As soon as he saw one hippie-like person, he was very excited because here everybody is Indians, no. So he said, "Oh, okay, you come to the evening. We have a program with our spiritual master." He thought, "Oh, this is ISKCON." Yes, we are ISKCON. Then he goes to the evening program, and there he goes and he sits very close to Prabhupada. I mean, they pushed him, you sit near Prabhupada. Prabhupada, as soon as he saw a hippie there, his eyes opened wide. They never expected a hippie in India. If at all there are some foreigners, they are like already devotees who are coming. So he's saying, "Oh, nice. Where are you coming from?" Amsterdam. And then, what are you doing? I am pursuing my architecture degree. Then they finish the program, go back to the room. He is also asked to come to the room. He was not asked whether you will come or not. Come, that's all. No options given. He comes and Prabhupada calls him to the room. So you said you are pursuing architecture degree? Yes. From tomorrow you do the design for Juhu temple. He didn't know what is a temple. He has completed his architecture degree. Imagine the faith that Prabhupada had in Krishna. It's inconceivable. You give so many interviews, this, that, and will take person, and 1 month they just vanish. Right? But you are just bringing people like this, and Surabhi Prabhu, he just did this Vrindavan temple. He is called over to Bombay temple. You come and do this. My God, you cannot get a spiritual master like this in all the three worlds for the next 10,000 years. You study this. Many people become devotees just by studying through the ISKCON's history. Nobody can have this much faith. And imagine starting an international society with a bunch of people who don't know each other and and don't know what they are doing also. And they don't know what they are supposed to be doing next also. One day you are temple president in Bombay, another day you are temple president in Sindri. Get lost, go out. And there is no KT also. Gaurang Prabhu said this funny story. You must have heard this. The one devotee was doing pujari worship in the Radha Gopinath of Sydney temple. So he was doing pujari service. And suddenly he was called over to come to Mumbai or something. So Prabhupada said, you come, next flight you catch and come. So by the time Prabhupada, but the deity worship will stop here. Okay, we'll send somebody. One newcomer who came yesterday is sent to the Sydney today. So he flies to Sydney and then he goes and only 2 hours is there between his going and his leaving. The other devotee is leaving. So he was told you have to do this worship. So that devotee before leaving, he didn't give proper KT. KT means knowledge transfer. No. So he just said, this you do. And he didn't tell how many times to do. So this devotee thought, oh, I'm a pujari. I have to do this all the time. So he didn't know how to count. He was just kept on doing flower for 1 hour, then the ghee lamp for 1 hour, then the water for 1 hour. He thought 24 hours he has to do one. And then he thought something is wrong with this. My hands are paining. One day. How this guy was doing 6 years without pain. And then he calls, how many times you have to do? My God. You can write a whole 12 cantos on the comedy of errors in this our movement, Prabhupada goes to Uganda and all blacks there. Nobody knew what to do. And Prabhupada goes and he rests in the night and he dries all the clothes in the cloth liner and he sleeps in the room. Next day he comes out with the gamcha, takes bath and comes out, his dresses are not there. He calls a Brahmananda, where are my dresses? Wait to search. So someone's thing they gave Brahmananda's thing, loose thing. He wears and he comes and somehow or other he tolerates, comes to give class. And then there one black devotee is wearing Prabhupada's kurta, another one is wearing Prabhupada's gamcha. And then another one is tying sannyas top on his head, he didn't know what to do with it. And Prabhupada is silently giving the class. He knows that all my dresses are safe now. He's Trinath, Tarora besides. My God, how much he had to tolerate. And he built this movement is not built with money and wealth and trained followers. This was built in and out with the bricks of sincere devotional service. They were also sincere, but headless sincere. I mean, some of them were having some heads to think. 99% of them didn't know what they were doing. How can a leader? and seeing them, actually, people who are in should run away. But instead, more and more people are joining the movement. Isn't it a miracle? Let's read further. You start talking this, it never end. Let's go further.
Such a Mahabhagat can prevail over the opinion of all others.
See, he's talking. These words was written 60 years ago, but you can apply exactly to Prabhupada. These lines.
A strong devotee makes propaganda against all other spiritual conceptions, namely Jnana, Karma, and Yoga. With his devotional flag unfurled, he stands fast to conquer other conceptions of a transcendental realization. Whenever there is an argument between a devotee and a non-devotee, a pure, strong devotee comes out victorious.
What was the purport here? And see what was the translation, what is the purport here? How Prabhupada has derived we wanted to highlight this point about Malaya Dvaja. Malaya Dvaja is a spiritual master. For your Ajnata Sukruti, we are getting the spiritual master. The Puranjani has got us as a husband. Puranjani is nothing but Atma. That Atma has taken a different body. But then that Atma has got spiritual master here. Please continue.
The word Pandya comes from the word Panda, meaning knowledge. Unless one is highly learned, he cannot conquer non-devotional conceptions.
In Puri and all, we call it Panda. Their Pandas are actually, they are knowledgeable. Knowledgeable doesn't mean only you know the Vedas. Your knowledge means what? Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That is real Jnani. And all of them are like that only. Jagannath Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. For them, everything right from morning to night, everything is Jagannath only. Nice, no? Prabhupada is beautifully giving this.
The word Para means transcendental and Pura means city. The Para Pura is Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God. And the word Jai refers to one who can conquer. This means that a pure devotee who is strong in devotional service and who has conquered all non-devotional conceptions can also conquer the kingdom of God. In other words, one can conquer the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, only by rendering devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Ajita, meaning no one can conquer him. But a devotee, by a strong devotional service and sincere attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can easily conquer him. Lord Krishna is fear personified for everyone, but he voluntarily agreed to fear the stick of Mother Yasoda. Krishna, God, cannot be conquered by anyone but his devotee. Such a devotee kindly married the daughter of King Vidarbha.
Beautiful, no? He is telling all the glories of the Malaya Dwaja, who is none other than spiritual master. And such a devotee is all the glories. Such a devotee kindly married the daughter of King Vidarbha. Now, the reason also Prabhupada says, because Puranjana had done, though he was all sense gratification and all he did, he also did pious activities. That is why he got the Puranjani form. And that also, what is that? Yoga Brashto Vijayate, that one. So, who is the father of Puranjani? Vaidarbhi? He is also a knowledgeable person. That is why he gave her in marriage to Malaya Dwaja. You understand? So he is, in other words, she is married to the spiritual, the Malaya Dwaja, who is both her husband, and in our terms, it's a living entity, spiritual master. Such a devotee kindly married the daughter of King Vidarbha. When he says this, we have to understand how great is that spiritual master. Prabhupada is emphasizing on the spiritual master. It's not so easy for someone who is suffering so much like this with Kalakanya, Jara, Prajwara and all that. He's now got a spiritual master, a husband, who can completely protect her. Beautiful purport, this one. Let's read the name. From here on, almost already we were half a day we were reading only, not even half we have come here. So from here on, it is going to be even more slower. Every purport is so like what do you call that? That malpua you put inside one, that what is that? Rabdi. It's like that. Each one is like a rabdi taste. Today you cannot take malpua, no? Or is it Ekadashi? I'm just asking, is it made of grains? Rabdi I know, but that malpua. Wheat is there. Can you make Ekadashi malpua? Our devotees are expert. Today they made Ekadashi dosa. Those online devotees, just to let you know, just to little bit to make you jalan a little bit. We had amazing dosa, very, very tasty dosa, Ekadashi dosa today. With all, I don't know if you all had you might have also had some nice, delicious prasadam, but here in our Brahmacharya ashram, we were so fortunate to have dosa on Ekadashi day. Yeah, little bit burning. Just kidding, Prabhu. You can also tell what you took so that we can also burn a little bit inside. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that it will be so tasty that you don't want to miss any purport, not a single line. You will really feel something like, you have a very interesting movie you are watching. You suddenly want to go for some break and you miss the important scene there. You don't feel like missing it, no? Like that, Prabhupada's purport, each purport is like that, really so much, absorbing you. Let's read next.
My dear King Prachina Bharishat, the sons of Malaya Dhwaja.
Oh no, before one, the one, 30.
King Malaya Dhwaja fathered one daughter who had very black eyes. He also had 7 sons who later became rulers of that tract of land known as Dravid. Thus, there were 7 kings in that land.
See, now you have to see it from a spiritual master and disciple perspective. When a spiritual master and disciple, when they come together, just like Puranjani, the Puranjana and his wife came together, they produced some, married, right? They produced some. Now here also, spiritual master is Malaya Dwaja, and the living entity, the soul, is represented by that Vaidarbhi. Now, when the soul surrenders to the spiritual master, there also some production is there. 7 sons are produced, right? And they became the ruler of the land known as Dravida. Now, why only 7 is produced? Prabhupada says beautifully, I don't want, you please enjoy the purport yourself later. But actually, 9 process, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all these are there. 9 process. Out of these, only 7 are mentioned. Why? Sakyam Atmanivedanam is not included in here. Prabhupada gives a reason for this also. You want to read it? Okay. Best purport is this. Let's read.
King Maladhwaj was a great devotee, and after he married the daughter of King Vidarbha, he gave her one nice daughter whose eyes were black. Figuratively, this means that the daughter of King Maladhwaj was also bestowed with devotional service, for her eyes were always fixed on
How
Krishna.
beautiful, huh? Niriksha, what is that word used? Asitekshanam. Asitekshanam. It's always Asitekshanam means whose eyes are blue or black. So they are always there. She's looking at Krishna. That's a beautifully Prabhupada derives that. Next.
A devotee has no vision in his life other than Krishna.
Beautiful, na? The devotee has no vision in life other than Krishna. How nice these lines are. We have nothing. Everything else is just junk. That building is there. They may say 2 BHK in this building is 80 lakhs. It will go to 1.5 crores in another 2 years. I don't care, man. What is a big deal? That 1.5, 2 crores, whatever it is there, it will all be in the bank. You will go Ram Nam Satya hai. What is the point? We are happy living in the Brahmacharya ashram in our temple rather than getting into this pigeonhole. That is pigeonhole only. Pigeons live in small, no, like that is hole. In Bombay and all, they live like pigeonholes only. Pigeon houses. And they are very happy, very proud. I am in Bombay. I am in Bombay. How crazy these people are. Come, let's read further. Very important.
The 7 sons are the 7 processes of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remembering, offering worship, offering prayers, rendering transcendental loving service, and serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Of the 9 types of devotional service, only 7 were immediately given. The balance, friendship, and surrendering everything were to be developed later. In other words, devotional service is divided into 2 categories, namely Vidhi Marg and Raga Marg.
Now you got the answer. First 7 are Vidhi Marg. Last 2 are Raga Marg. Right? What is that? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Achanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. Up to this point, it is all Vidhi Marg. Sakyam Atmanivedanam, no Vidhi, Raga Marg. So, spiritual master makes us equipped with these 7 items first. We have to be pakka in these first 7 items. Vidhi Marg. That is why Prabhupada told us that even when you do Radha Krishna worship in the morning in Mangalarti Samsara Dava, you should worship in the mood of worshipping Lakshmi Narayana only. Prabhupada himself wrote this in a letter. You cannot think of Radha Krishna Leela, Yukala Leela, all those things you should not think. You should think in Aishwarya Bhav only. That is, you see them as Radha Krishna, but with Aishwarya Bhav, Aishwarya Bhav only. So we cannot get into this thing so easily without doing the first 7 part properly. Then let's go further.
The process of becoming friends with the Lord and sacrificing everything for Him belongs to the category of Raga Marga, the stage of developed devotional service. For the neophyte, the important processes are those of hearing and chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, remembering Krishna, worshipping the deity in the temple, offering prayers, always engaging in the service of the Lord, and worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. The word Yaviyasaha indicates that these processes are very powerful. After a devotee engages in the processes of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, and is able to secure these processes, he can later become a devotee capable of rendering spontaneous devotional service.
This is beauty, namely Sakyam and Atmanivedanam. See how Prabhupada is so beautifully clear in explaining this. The first 7 items you will follow. The last 2 will automatically come on its own. You don't have to struggle hard to do the last 2. The first 7 will take you there. Sakyam and Atmanivedanam. You have to, so the spiritual master trains the people in the first 7 items. But see, further Prabhupada is going to reveal more confidential things.
Generally, the great acharyas who preach devotional service all over the world belong to the category of Sakyam Atmanivedanam.
A neophyte devotee cannot actually become a preacher. The neophyte is advised to execute devotional service in 7 other fields, Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. If one can successfully execute the preliminary 7 items, he can in the future be situated on the platform of Sakyam Atmanivedanam.
See how nice. The spiritual master is in the mood of Sakyam and Atmanivedanam. But you train them in the first 7 items, the disciples. Then when they do this properly, eventually they will get to this place. So why Sakyam for spiritual masters? Why Sakyam for spiritual masters? No, you are disqualified. No, you are there in the kitchen, our staff's thing. There we said something. You know, you were not supposed to speak. He was there in that class. No, he is not going to say. All of us try. Why Sakyam for spiritual masters?
Just to deepen. Like Guru Sudruda Sauruda, it is said in Guru Brahmachari Guru Kule Vasandanto Guru Hitam Acharam Dasavad Nicho Guru Sudruda Sauruda. So as the relationship grows, it becomes more of reverential friendship than the just reverential servitorship. This is just some
Nice point. Reverential friendship. So who is our Adi Guru? And what is his primary relation with Krishna? Primary relation is Sakyam. He also does Vatsalyam and other things, but what is primary relationship? Sakyam. Very simple. And who is our Guru of Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna. And what is his primary relationship with Krishna? Sakyam. And Prabhupada gives a beautiful meaning to what Sakyam means. I will tell you, he is quoting from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Tatya. You must have read this from the Shravanam Kirtanam Shloka itself. 7th canto lists all the Archanam, big purport. No? In that, you will see, where is that? It's 7.5 only, I think. Hmm. 7.5 was 7.5, 23, 24 something. Yeah, 23, 24. See, in this second paragraph, 7.5, 23, 24, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur gives the following explanation is Tatya. And I am skipping all other processes and coming directly to Sakyam. Okay. And Sakyam means being a well-wisher of Krishna. Read this. Can somebody want to read it out? My throat is going off. Towards.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
No. Come down. Thinking oneself to be Nitya Krishna Das. Read that line.
Where, bro? I have that in front of me.
Towards last 3-4 lines before they enter the paragraph. That paragraph only, Tatya paragraph.
Thinking oneself to be Nitya Krishna Das. Everlasting servant of Krishna is called Dasyam. And Sakhyam means being well-wisher of Krishna. Krishna wants everyone to surrender unto him because everyone is constitutionally his servant. Therefore, a sincere friend of Krishna, one should preach this philosophy, requesting everyone to surrender unto Krishna.
This is the line. You saw that as a sincere friend of Krishna. Arjuna is doing that. Celebrated friend, Prabhupada says. So, when you do preaching service, you are actually in Sakya Bhava with Krishna. Right? Savanam, Kirtanam, all those things you do. After the 7 things you do. Why you are preaching to everybody? Because you want you know the greatness of Krishna, his kindness, his compassion, everything. So people should accept it. Normally, when you are a friend of somebody, when will you be the best friend? You want that friend's glories to be spread all over the world so that everybody will take benefit of his kindness or his qualities, right? So that is what Arjuna is doing. So Prabhupada says, as a sincere well-wisher of Krishna, as a friend of Krishna, we should distribute this knowledge to everybody, transcendental knowledge. So Prabhupada himself says in many places that anyone who is in the preaching seva, is in the Sakya Bhav. I mean, is in the Sakya mood. Friend is a friend mood. Beautiful connection, you see. That's why the spiritual master, he says, is the Sakyam and Atmanivedanam is there. You see the connection there? Primarily Sakyam. They can, even if you call us Manjaris, they are also Sakis only, isn't it? Our Acharyas, some of them are Manjaris, they are also Sakis only. So there is no difference between Sakha and Sakhi. Right? Just the constitutionally you may say that way, but end of the day, both are same only for Krishna. Okay. So much to do. What do we do? Prabhupada writes something so beautifully in this next verse. Next verse, what we are in 32, 33. I wanted online devotees to also read, but I don't know if who is available there. We have to do one thing. We have to close it anyway. So what we'll do is we'll only read the translation. I'm really feeling very bad for doing this, but there's no other option for us. Unless and until you don't mind sitting till 6 o'clock. I can put in my laptop here and continue my working. Do you have services, huh? When is the service? Kunjiberi? When? When? Huh? 3:45. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's only read the translation. What can I do? I hope and pray that you will all enjoy this transcendental nectar yourself. Have the malpuas, rabdis for yourself. Don't give me. I don't mind, because I will go to the other temple and get the malpua. I'll miss the malpua here. Rabdi and malpua. Tell our cooks. You only have the menu, no? Today we talked too much about malpua. So you please tell them 1 or 2 days, let them make malpuas. Tomorrow, the Dwadasi feast also they can do. Bhakti. No. Hey, let them make for everybody. Come on. Online devotees will be very bad. Huh? Khichdi, I don't know. He showed me the menu and all. They said day before. Anyway, let's quickly read the translations only. 2-3 purports are there which we cannot miss, but we will at least go to the translations.
My dear King,
I can see everybody's face glowing 10,000 times more when they heard the word Malpua. Very poor.
My dear King Prachina Varishad, the sons of Maladhwaj gave birth to many thousands and thousands of sons, and all of these have been protecting the entire world up to the end of one Manu's lifespan, and even afterward.
See, this purport Prabhupada writes, he talks about nobody should have differences by opinion and all that. And then he tells so beautifully, as far as we are concerned, he says that every spiritual master of Bhakti Saraswati is creating many disciples around the world. But as far as we are concerned, we have already started the ISKCON, and many thousands of Europeans and Americans have joined this movement. Indeed, it is spreading like wildfire. The cult of Krishna consciousness based on the 9 principles of devotional service will never be stopped. It will go on without distinction of caste, creed, color, or country. No one can check it. How emphatically Prabhupada is giving us this encouraging statement, no? So let's read the next one. Sorry, Prabhu? Yeah, that's the only thing. This when the more and more preachers are there, the more and more it will continue. Next.
The great sage named Agastya married the firstborn daughter of Malayadhwaja, the avowed devotee of Lord Krishna. From her one son was born, whose name was Dhritarashtra, and from whom another son was born, whose name was Idmavaha.
So this Puranjani and Malayadhwaja got a daughter, no? That daughter is married to Agastya, right? Agastya means whose senses don't act independent of mind. That's what it means. The senses will be completely under the control of the mind. And mind is dedicated to bhakti. Now, Now this is the mind, Agastya is the mind, and this girl is the Bhakti, because the disciple and spiritual master combined together, what produces? Bhakti. So the daughter of Malayadwaja and Puranjani is Bhakti, and that Bhakti is married to the mind. You understand? And when Bhakti is, see, that's what it is. The Bhakti is married to the mind. Now mind is fixed with Bhakti. Now this is a beautiful thing. Our Bhishma Dev, he prays, right? When he prays, he first starts off with, what is he start off with? Iti mati rupa kalpita vitrishna bhagavati satota pungave vibhumni. He is explaining about his mind. What are the qualities of mind, right? Mind is like our child, our daughter, right? So he has a he is not married, but he has a daughter. Everyone has a daughter. That is the mind. We are very dear. My daughter is very dear to us. So mind is very dear to us. Now the next verse, what is he talking about? What is he explaining?
After this, the
No,
great
no, no. In Bhishma Dev prayers, verse number 33. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is that? What is that Tamalavarnam? Starting point? Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravi Kara Gaura Varambaram Dadane Vapura Laka Kula Vrinanabjam Vijaya Sakheratir Astumena Vadya. Now he is explaining the beauty of the groom. He is now going to marry his mind to Krishna. So he explained about the qualities of his daughter, that is mind, and then he is explaining about the qualities of the groom. Groom only, no, we say Jamai, groom. So, Jamai we say, no? Yeah, Jamai, Damad, they say Damad, Jamai. Krishna is our son-in-law. Right? So he wants to marry Krishna, my mind to Krishna. So he is telling Krishna, you have all these great qualities, Krishna, and my daughter is this mind which has these qualities. You please take care of her nicely. That's what you're supposed to do in our devotional service. Offer our mind to Krishna at his lotus feet. And that's the thing really literally happening here. Right? And when the both mix, what happens is rest of the prayers he says that. Okay, let's go further.
After this, the great saintly king Maladh divided his entire kingdom among his sons. Then, in order to worship Lord Krishna,
Wait a minute. See, these two from the Bhakti Lata Bija, two people are born. What is the one person's name? Dridachyuta and Idmavaha. Right? Dridachyuta is what? What is meaning? Dridachyuta means? He is telling about Idmavaha here. Dridachyuta he will tell later, I think. Dridachyuta means Drida Achyuta. Right? One who is firmly fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. And Idmavaha means one who carries the woods for the yajna for spiritual. In other words, he is engaged in service. One side determination, another side service. These two are the sons of the combination of mind and bhakti. Beautiful simile, here. Okay, next one, please.
After this, the great saintly king Maladh divided his entire kingdom among his sons. Then, in order to worship Lord Krishna with full attention, he went to a solitary place known as Kulachala.
This purport you have to read, how much ever time it takes. So solid rabdi purport it is. Semi-solid, I'm sorry. Please.
Maladh, the great king, was certainly a Mahabhagavat.
Little away from your
Maladh, the great king, was certainly a Mahabhagavat, topmost devotee. By executing devotional service, he begot many sons and disciples for propagating the bhakti cult. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Actually, the entire world should be divided among such disciples.
Prabhupada is that sort. Somebody Prabhupada is saying, you take Vrindavan, you take Mayapur, you take Italy, you take France. That's how Prabhupada divided. Isn't it? And literally, Prabhupada says, you take UK, you take America. And some donkey will be sitting there as president. That doesn't matter. And really, the leader there is who people are gathering to. And manner, they have so many Downing Street, Upping Street, whatever. But for Janmashtami, even the Downing Street man is coming for taking Ashirwad from our priest in Bhaktivedanta manner. 1.5, 2 lakhs people are coming for Janmashtami there. This is outside India. What to speak of inside India? 2 lakhs in Bhaktivedanta manner. And every single prime minister will come and take the blessings from our temple, or the devotees there. We read further. This is loving purport.
Everyone should be engaged in preaching the cult of Krishna consciousness.
Now, where are you? Purport only, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, please continue.
In other words, when disciples are grown up and are able to preach, the spiritual master should retire and sit down in a solitary place to write and execute Nirjana Bhajan.
This is what he is telling. I want to enjoy this service. Come on, please, you all please take. Prabhupada is writing for his disciples. That's why I told you this is real Rabdi purport. Please.
This means sitting silently in a solitary place and executing devotional service. This Nirjana Bhajan, which is a silent worship of Supreme Lord, is not possible for a neophyte devotee. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta
So it is a warning. You all don't take it. I have to take it.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur never advised a neophyte devotee to go to a solitary place to engage in devotional service. Indeed, he has written a song in this connection. Dushtamana tum kishe
Pratishtara tare nirjanera harinama kevala kaitava.
My dear mind, what kind of devotee are you? Simply for cheap adoration, you sit in a solitary place and pretend to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But this is all cheating. Thus, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur advocated that every devotee, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, preach the Bhakti cult, Krishna consciousness, all over the world. Only when one is mature can he sit in a solitary place and retire from preaching all over the world. Following this example, the devotees of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness now render service as preachers in various parts of the world. Now they can allow the spiritual master to retire from...
Now they can allow the spiritual master to... In other words, he's telling, act up properly so that I don't have to interfere in every one of your, what do you call that as? Clashes, conflicts and clashes.
In the last stage of the spiritual master's life, the devotees of the spiritual master should take preaching activities into their own hands. In this way, the spiritual master can sit down in a solitary place and render Nirjana Bhajan.
What a beautiful purport, no? He just expresses his mind. This is what I want to do. Please allow me to complete Bhagavatam. So many places he writes like this. At least now, please allow me to sit and I'm doing this for all of you only. Next translation.
Just as the moon sign follows the moon at night, immediately after King Malayadhwaj departed for Kulachal, his devoted wife, whose eyes were very enchanting, followed him, giving up all homely happiness, despite family and children.
This purport is also beautiful. Please read.
Just as in the Vanaprastha stage, the wife follows the husband, similarly, when the spiritual master retires for Nirjana Bhajan, some of his advanced devotees follow him and engage in his personal service.
Now the Malayadhwaja is about to leave his body, so he's going into a Vanaprastha and he's going to leave. So the wife follows. So when the spiritual master goes, the disciple follows. The senior disciples or advanced disciples, they go with him.
In other words, those who are very fond of family life should come forward in the service of the spiritual master and abandon so-called happiness afforded by society, friendship and love. A verse by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Guru Ashtaka is significant in this regard. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasada. A disciple should always remember that by serving the spiritual master, he can easily advance in Krishna consciousness. All the scriptures recommend that it is by pleasing the spiritual master and serving him directly that one can attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service. The word Madirekshana is also significant in this verse. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained in his Sandarbha that the word Madira means intoxicating. If one's eyes become intoxicated upon seeing the deity, he may be called Madireksha.
Intoxicated upon seeing the deities. Please continue.
Queen Vaibhav's eyes were very enchanting, just as one's eye are Madirekshana when engaged in seeing the temple deity. Unless one is an advanced devotee, he cannot fix his eyes on the deity in the temple.
Yeah. So every purport you will see some lines here and they're so beautiful. Quickly go to the next one, and this purport we have to read.
In the province of Kulachal, there were rivers named Chandravas, Tamraparani, and Vatodaka. King Malayadwaja used to go to those pious rivers regularly and take his bath there. Thus he purified himself eternally and externally and internally. He took his bath and ate bulbs, seeds, leaves, flowers, fruits and grasses, and drank water. In this way, he underwent severe austerities. Eventually, he became very skinny.
And now read the purport, beautiful purport.
We can definitely see that to advance in Krishna consciousness, one must control his bodily weight.
I told you, no, before going to lunch, this is the purport you have to read. Luckily, we have come to that. Please continue.
If one becomes too fat, it is to be assumed that he is not advancing spiritually.
20 kg of urine and stool. That is what Prabhupada is saying.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur severely criticized his fat disciples. The idea is that one who intends to advance in Krishna consciousness must not eat very much. Devotees used to go to forest, high hills, or mountains on pilgrimages, but such severe austerities are not possible in these days. One should instead eat only prasad and no more than required. According to the
no more than required.
According to the Vaishnava calendar, there are many fasts such as Ekadasi and the appearance and disappearance days of God and his devotees. All of these are meant to decrease the fat within the body. So that
read it again.
All these are meant to decrease the fat within the body so that one will not sleep more than desired and will not become inactive and lazy. Overindulgence in food will cause a man to sleep more than required. This human form of life is meant for austerity, and austerity means controlling sex, food intake, etc. In this way, time can be saved for spiritual activity, and one can purify himself both externally and internally. Thus, both body and mind can be cleansed.
What a purport, huh? You just see how Prabhupada is deriving something amazing from this thing and so applicable to us. The less you eat, the less sleep you will have, and you can easily be there for the Mangalartis and whatever, right? Amazing purport. Let's read the next thing.
Through austerity, King Malayadwaja in body and mind gradually became equal to the dualities of cold and heat, happiness and distress, wind and rain, hunger and thirst, the pleasant and the unpleasant. In this way, he conquered all relatives.
See, the last paragraph is very beautiful. If one is factually, see, I told you, actually, factually, Prabhupada says there's very much emphasis he is giving. If one is factually engaged in the service of the Lord, Bhakti Yoga, he will automatically control his senses, his tongue, and so many other things. Once engaged in the Bhakti Yoga process with all sincerity, one will have no chance of falling down. How emphatic Prabhupada is in giving us the confidence. Even if he falls down, he will not be stunned. He will come again. That's again next statement is telling. And then the next one. By translation, Prabhupada.
By worshipping, executing austerities, and following the regulative principles, King Malayadwaja conquered his senses, his life, and his consciousness. Thus, he fixed everything on the central point of the Supreme Brahman, Krishna.
See, this in this purport, beautiful purport. Oh, you are here, no? Go to the next one.
In this way, he stayed immovable in one place for 100 years by the calculations of the demigods. After this time, he developed pure devotional attraction for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and remained fixed in that position.
See, this whole purport again is really beautiful, but we'll try the last few lines. When one comes to the conclusion, after Krishna Bhakti Kaile.
When one comes to the conclusion that Krishna is everything by worshipping or by rendering devotional service unto Krishna, one actually becomes perfect in all respects. Not only must one come to the conclusion that Krishna is everything, but he must remain fixed in this
See,
realization.
this is the point. This is Prabhupada. Remain fixed in that realization. Otherwise, coming, going will not work.
This is the highest perfection of life, and it is
Vaibhav has done it. Next.
King Malayadhwaja attained perfect knowledge by being able to distinguish the super soul from the individual soul. The individual soul is localized, whereas the super soul is all pervasive. He became perfect in knowledge that the material body is not the soul, but that the soul is the witness of the material body.
Now, you see what Malayadhwaja is going through, like he is doing austerities and he is immovably sitting and all that. That is actually spiritual master. So, how a disciple should behave after the spiritual master departure is also now coming. That's what we wanted to cover before we end. Yes, please. That's another 3 more verses only.
In this way, King Malayadhwaja attained perfect knowledge because in his pure state he was directly instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By means of such enlightening transcendental knowledge, he could understand everything from all angles of vision.
See, this is the beautiful thing, no? He was directly instructed by means of such enlightening transcendental knowledge, he could understand everything. So, this is spiritual master is directly given the instructions from the from the super soul, Supreme Lord. So, when one is, the purport Prabhupada writes nicely, when one is trained by the spiritual master according to the regulatory principle of devotional service and is situated in the platform spontaneously for the Lord gives instructions from within. That's the Tesham Satyaknanam is giving this. Now let's go to the next one quickly.
King Malayadhwaja could thus observe that the super soul was sitting by his side and that he as the individual soul was sitting by the side of the super soul. Since both were together, there was no need for separate interest. Thus, he ceased from such activities.
See, in the advanced stage of devotional service, the devotees does not see anything separate between his own interest and those of the Lord. This is the ultimate aim was. Next one.
The daughter of King Vidarbha accepted her husband in all as the supreme. She gave up all sensual enjoyment and in complete renunciation followed the principles of her husband, who was so advanced. Thus she remained engaged in his service.
So this is the beauty. When you have such a glorious spiritual master, here in this case Malayadhwaja, she is serving him very obediently. By serving, the disciple will get so much benefit. Thing. So Prabhupada writes very nicely. Where is that? She will automatically attain spiritual. If a disciple gets a bona fide spiritual master, simply by satisfying him, it has similar opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. Next.
The daughter of King Vidarbha wore old garments, and she was lean and thin because of her vows of austerity. Since she did not arrange her hair, it became entangled and twisted in locks. Although she remained always near her husband, she was as silent and unagitated as the flame of an undisturbed fire.
So here Prabhupada is telling that just like how Puranjani was serving the Malayadhwaja, if the disciple remains steady in the service of the spiritual master, he need no longer fear falling down into the clutches of Maya. Like last life, Puranjana fell down. In this life, because he got a spiritual master, she got a spiritual master, she attained perfection of life. This whole thing talks about the perfection of life attained by the fortune of receiving spiritual master's grace. Where we were and where we are. That's the thing. Next.
The daughter of King Vidarbha continued as usual to serve her husband, who was seated in a steady posture until she could ascertain that he had passed away from the body.
She is continuing to serve. Prabhupada writes very beautifully here on point that when serving, there should not be too much talking. she didn't realize that Malaya Dvija has left the body and continued to serving, because when she was serving, she never used to talk. She will just keep the thing and anything that needed and it can go away. So because she was only serving and not talking, she didn't even realize that he has left the body. So even among personal servants also, I have heard Radhanath Maharaj also, when this personal servant and devotee was very excited, I can talk a lot to Maharaj and all that. But for the first 1 week, Maharaj didn't talk anything to him at all. He will be sitting and looking at the fan, and it means you have to put on the fan. And then you look at the light and you have to put on the light. Now, one word also he did not speak to him. He was worried. What is this? Maharaj is not talking to me at all. Then he went and talked to another senior devotee. He said, this is how the spiritual master trains the personal servant in being grounded. Because that is one service which can make you feel proud like anything. Easily we can become proud, and we can never do the service with pride in our heart. No service to Guru with pride in our heart. So I was just reminded of that. Okay, let's continue further.
While she was serving her husband by massaging his legs, she could feel that his feet were no longer warm and could thus understand that he had already passed from the body. She felt great anxiety upon being left alone. Bereft of her husband's company, she felt exactly as the deer feels upon being separated from its mate.
So this is now she is feeling. This is how a disciple should feel. Like we were talking the other day also, how the disciple should feel when the spiritual master leaves his vision. Now, the next one onwards, purport will be really wonderful. Let's read next 3-4 verses and then we'll end. Anyone else want to take over from Prabhu? Who wants to take?
Being now alone and a widow in the forest, in that forest, the daughter of Vidarbha began to lament, incessantly shedding tears, which soaked her breasts and crying very loudly.
Purport, Prabhu.
Figuratively, the queen is supposed to be the disciple of the king. Thus, when the mortal body of the spiritual master expires, his disciple should cry exactly as the queen cries when the king leaves his body. However, the disciple and spiritual master are never separated, because the spiritual master always keeps company with the disciple as long as the disciple follows strictly the instructions of the spiritual master. This is called the association of Vani, words. Physical presence is called Vapu. As long as the spiritual master is physically present, the disciple should serve the physical body of the spiritual master. And when the spiritual master is no longer physically existing, the disciple should serve the instructions of the spiritual master.
How clear the instructions are. Prabhupada has written it for generations and generations of devotees in Krishna consciousness. Not only for his thing. Now we are also following the same thing. When our spiritual master left our vision, it was, I told you in the class also, a little bit I briefly touched upon. We couldn't believe what was going on. Because until that point, Maharaj will get some sickness. Then we will all chant, we'll pray, Maharaj will after some time will come back. So in the last time when he was going away also, we thought he will come back. Devotees, Devakinandan Prabhu himself told Maharaj said, I think this time to leave Devaki. So Devaki Prabhu said, no, Maharaj, you tell like this only, but you will come back, we have the faith. No, Devaki, this time it's not picking up. I know I'm not coming back. And that's when he said, I will go to Bombay. And until that point, he never visited hospitals or anything. The funniest thing about Maharaj, this thing is the strangest thing about Maharaj thing. It's an irony that he never had any good relationship with any doctors. He will go to the doctors only to cut their falsigo off. He will go fire them and come back. He will be feeling sick. But when he goes there, they will speak some nonsense out of their falsigo and Maharaj will, come on, take your certificate. I don't believe you are a doctor. Which college you studied? Who is your doctor? Come on, bring him. Especially this is Ayurvedic also. They will say, with great difficulty, you will take him to Ayurvedic. You will not go to that also. But after going there, the doctor will say something, and you will give some goli and all that. And you will, in the end, he will take, just for the sake, you take a urine and blood test. Immediately he got, you are a fake doctor. Ayurvedic doctors never ask you to take urine blood tests. Show me your certificate. I don't believe it. And Maharaj said, keep all these medicines with you only. It will be useful for you. I am not going to take your medicine. And fire them left, right, and center and come. Disciples will feel very Emperor, we are not able to serve Maharaj also, and we can never bring anybody to this doctor again. Doctor relationship is over. So, I mean, for all that Maharaj did, he left his body in Bhaktivedanta hospital. And we asked Maharaj, all through your life, he taught us, don't go to doctors. And you are spending your time. But Maharaj said, this is not hospital, this is Vrindavan. Doctors are there, they are chanting, deity is there, and you are doing Krishna consciousness here, and I'm allowed to speak. Every day he was speaking Bhagavatam class to the staffs and doctors and everybody. And that's why he said, this is Vaikuntha, this is not hospital. I wanted to live where the devotees are easily available. And secondly, for all the devotees around the world to come, it is easy for him. We told all of you, come to Bhaktivedanta hospital. If you come to Rajkot, we don't have facility to feed you all there. It was still beginning thing. He said, we totally told that you just come here, go anywhere, the Gradagiri temple is there opposite, in Bhaktivedanta hospital, canteen is there, eat wherever you want, sleep wherever you want. I just want to give you final instruction and get lost. Don't bother me. I want to be with Krishna. This is what he told. I mean to say, this is how the spiritual masters are, when they are, they don't take any medicines or anything for that, just for the life's sake. So we teach us a lot, best lessons to us. Let's go further. Where did I come to this point from? I'm sorry. Sorry? Following the instructions. Yeah, I mean to say, I started off with that. So when Maharaj, after he left, every time I pick up the phone, even now in my phone, his number is saved as Gurudev. That number I didn't want to, in the contact, I don't want to delete it. So I mean, every time by default, I will go to this thing. I will try to talk to him. Oh my God, he's not there. How can I talk to him? So for 6-8 months, it went on like this. Then only I could come to terms. But then every time I study Bhagavatam, every time I remember his instructions, every time I share with sincere devotees like you all what he told us, which can benefit anybody and everybody, I feel his presence. That is where I feel very much his presence in his instructions. I'm so happy that I am getting all your association, because I know we have overshot our time, but still you are sitting for this few nectarian final few verses. This is how Bhagavatam should be done. Of course, we have other services, but it should not be in the back of our mind that, time way to go. Now we are in the what do you call that as? Summit of this, the purports. So let's read further. Next one.
Oh, best of the kings, please get up. Just see this world surrounded by water and infested with rogues and so-called kings. This world is very much afraid, and it is your duty to protect her. So she's she's telling this to the Malaya Dwaja. Please read the first few lines, Prabhu. Of the purport. When Acharya comes, following the superior orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative, he establishes the principles of religion as enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita. Religion means abiding by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Religious principles begin from the time one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the Acharya's duty to spread a bona fide religious system and induce everyone to bow down before the Supreme Lord. We'll stop here and then move to the next verse. The most obedient wife thus fell down at the feet of her dead husband and began cry pitifully in the solitary forest. The tear rolled down from her eyes. We can skip that and go to the next one. She then prepared a blazing fire with firewood and placed the dead body of her husband upon it. When this was finished, she lamented severely and prepared herself to perish in the fire with her husband. That's the second paragraph of this. This indicates. Second paragraph of the purport. Yeah, this indicates a devotee's wife must be prepared to act in such a way. Similarly, a devoted disciple of the spiritual master would rather die with the spiritual master than fail to execute the spiritual master's mission. This is such a strong statement. This is the most powerful statement in this entire thing. You better die, if you can't follow the instruction.
Please continue, Prabhu.
As the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes down upon this earth to establish the principles of religion, so his representative, the spiritual master, also comes to re-establish religious principles. It is the duty of the disciples to take charge of the mission of the spiritual master and execute it properly. Otherwise, the disciple should decide to die along with the spiritual master. In other words, to execute the will of the spiritual master, the disciple should be prepared to lay down his life and abandon all personal considerations.
Next one. These things don't need explanation. You will know the weight of it. The vajan, you know how heavy Prabhupada is in this. Is literally has just given us the lifetime thing in these last few purports. Yes, please, Prabhu.
My dear king, one Brahmana who was an old friend of King Puranjan came to that place and began to pacify the queen with sweet words.
Please, purport, Prabhu.
Where? Like any specific?
The appearance of. That's one. This first paragraph is really good.
The appearance.
No. Sorry. Middle of the thing, Prabhu.
When one becomes.
When one becomes serious.
When one becomes serious to follow the mission of the spiritual master, his resolution is tantamount to the seeing the supreme personality of God.
This is a beautiful line. As I told you, every purport in this last few verses, amazing. You would have read it before, but tantamount to means it's as good as seeing Krishna. So when you follow the instructions of the spiritual master strictly with full one point of Vaivasatma Buddhi, Ekaiha Kurunandana, then you can see spiritual master also, you experience his presence also, you can experience Krishna also in that seva. And then you go further down. Where is it? Yeah, the disciple must stick to whatever spiritual master does and you'll see Krishna in that way. Then you please come further. At the same thing, you will get the association. In conclusion, that was very nice.
If a disciple is very serious to execute the mission of the spiritual master, he immediately associates with the Supreme Personality of Godhead by Vani or Vapu.
This is the
only secret of success in seeing Supreme Personality.
This is the only way to see the Supreme Lord. Continue further, Prabhu.
Very powerful answer.
Instead of being eager
to see the Lord in some bush of Vrindavan, while at the same time engaging in sense gratification, if one instead sticks to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master, he will see Supreme Lord without difficulty.
Beautiful. We'll stop there, that thing. Again, Prabhupada repeats that same point in the next paragraph also. Now what happens is, the Brahmana inquires as follows. Who are you? Whose wife or daughter are you? Who is the man lying here? It appears you are lamenting for this dead body. Don't you recognize me? I am your eternal friend. You may remember that many times in the past you consulted me. Now Avijñata is coming in the form of a Brahmana. He is now, because of that service to the spiritual master, he is getting the association of the super soul, Krishna. Now he is revealing that. See, this is the thing. If further you see in the purport, this whole purport is all again and again the same point. Prabhupada is repeating that, where is that? He will say, it is him only. Yes. I will read this purport. You want to read it?
What did you say?
I will read this thing. One who is sincere and pure gets an opportunity to consult with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Paramatma feature sitting within one's heart. The Paramatma is always the Chaitya Guru, the spiritual master within. And he comes before one externally as the instructor and initiator spiritual master. This is the beauty. Paramatma is coming out. So the Malaya Dvaja is an expansion of this Brahmana. The Lord can reside within the heart, and he can also come out before a person and give him instructions. Thus, the spiritual master is not different from the super soul sitting within the heart. An uncontaminated soul or the living entity can get a chance to meet the Paramatma face to face. Just as one gets a chance to consult with the Paramatma within his heart, one also gets a chance to see him actually situated before him. then one can take instance of super soul directly. This is the duty of a pure devotee, to see the bona fide spiritual master and consult with the super soul within the heart. And then he's saying this further, no? If the devotee serves the spiritual master sincerely, Krishna automatically becomes pleased. By satisfying the spiritual master, one automatically satisfies Krishna. Thus, the devotee becomes enriched by both the spiritual master and Krishna. The super soul is eternally the friend of the living entity, always remains with him. The super soul has always been ready to help the entity. Then he is accompanying the living entity since ever. Okay, next. Now he is telling that, he is revealing that I am that same person whom you came, and he explains all those things. And Narad Muni concludes this whole chapter by saying, Puranjani now got by the service of the spiritual master, she went back to Godhead. But here there's one more place that will come, Prabhu. Beautiful thing, where he talks about Sakshad Haritvena. Where is that? Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra. Morning only I read, Prabhu. Where is that? It's actually Krishna only. The super soul, spiritual master is Krishna himself, it will come. No, not that one. It's Sakshad Haritvena. There it is, Sakshad Haritvena. Maybe in the next chapter. You search, maybe. Try for Sakshad Haritvena and Veda base and see 4.28 or 29 you have. Verse 43, huh? Maybe we skipped it. 1 minute. Wait a minute. 43, huh? Yes, sorry. Thank you for catching it, Prabhu. Please read that purport, please.
Figuratively, figuratively, King Maladhwaj is the spiritual master and his wife Vaidarbhi is the disciple. The disciple accepts the spiritual master as the supreme personality of Godhead, as stated by Vishwanath Chakravarti.
See, that line is very beautiful. Please read it again.
The disciple, that one. The disciple accepts the spiritual master as the supreme personality of God.
Not as good as that. Prabhupada is very clear here. Prabhupada says, spiritual master, the disciple accepts spiritual master as the supreme personality of Godhead. The guru does not think that he is supreme personality of Godhead. Please understand the clear distinction here. The fake gurus, they think that they are God. But a real guru, he does not think that he is God. But the disciple should accept him as the supreme personality of God. That's what Sakshad Haritvena means. Sakshad Hari. For a guru, for a Sishya, guru is Sakshad Hari. And she is telling, one directly accepts the guru. Please continue further, Prabhu.
One should accept the spiritual master, not in a sense that the Mayavadi philosopher do, but in the way recommended here. Since the spiritual master is most confidential servant of Lord, he should be treated exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual master should never be neglected or disobeyed like an ordinary person.
Actually, this is very interesting. One of the memories, I don't know who wrote this, but when the very first batch of initiation happened in New York or I think Boston, New York, in one of those places. So until then, Prabhupada kept telling spiritual master is as good as the Supreme Lord, as good as Supreme Lord, like that. So on the day of initiation, when they asked Swamiji, after this ceremony, how we should treat you? Then Prabhupada said, you should treat the spiritual master as God. They was taken aback. They were like, so far he was criticizing all these Mayavadis who, they said, they always say, you are God, I am God, you are God, like that. Then how can Prabhupada also say this? It's contradicting. So they went and asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you always said this. spiritual master is only as good as God, not God. But you are telling us to treat you as God. And he said, yes, that is what Sakshat Haritana means. No, but then this is contrary. Okay, you treat me as good as God. But they were not, at that point, they were not at a position to understand this thing, maybe, we don't know. But this is the real thing that Prabhupada is teaching us, that he treated Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada as God, not as good as God. You understand? It's a very, very subtle and confidential thing. You cannot go around and tell this openly into the world, my Guru is God, my Guru is God. Then we will become like Mayavadis only. But in our heart of hearts, we should treat them as God only. Sakshad Hari. In other words, Prabhupada is writing in the purport, no, super soul is only coming out in the form of spiritual master. So there is no difference between the two. Right? It's a very subtle point, but it's like the last bit of that hump which you should cross. Outside world, you may not say so, whatever it is. But to you, my Guru is my God. So when Krishna comes also, like how Prahlad Maharaj rejected Narsinghdeva and said, I will serve only Narad Muni. We should be like that. So attached to the service. If Prabhupada was not so attached to the service of his Guru, he would not have done so many miracles here. It's not about miracles, but becoming pure devotees. Right? So, those purports I just wanted to read. I know time is also of the essence. We extended by 1 hour extra. But 1 hour more than what we were planning to extend. I know the more nectar is there in the next chapter also. Really, we should, you all please take over the next chapter and study yourself, because you are in la, you're like that. If you relished this for the last 3-4 days, whatever time, with my limited thing, whatever I could give, I am extremely sorry. I didn't have the time to take out the notes of this important thing in my separate thing so that we could do it quickly. But then whatever purports we read were all nectarian. At least to me, everything, I don't know. For you also it should be. But then the extension of time is a offense by me. Please forgive me for that. And online devotees, whoever is there, please forgive me also for the, I know I've extended a lot. Today is Ekadashi, so you will forgive me. Any questions, comments? This is the last session, so if you want to have any questions or comments from online, anybody wants to share the thoughts, please, Prabhu. So on, Prabhu. From here, anyway, anybody would like to ask any questions? Last few verses you can read. Just 2-3 verses only. You can read. That's how the story ends. And again in the 29th chapter, our Prachinabhari asks, your story is not so clear, so please explain. Again, he explains for the first 15-20 verses, and then comes the whole nectar of what are the advantages of this devotional service, how great is this hearing Krishna Katha and Bhagavatam, all those things he tells. Some beautiful verses are there. I am feeling very bad. Maharaj loved those verses like anything. 4, 29, 39 and 40. 2 verses will be there. That's a beautiful verse. Maharaj loved quoting that. And many more shlokas. 4, 29, 51 is another beautiful shloka about the glory of spiritual master. Glorious quality of spiritual master. That is another verse. So please meditate on these nice shlokas. Any comments, Prabhus, before we go?
Yes, Prabhu. So all of you are very fortunate. I was fortunate today only. It was so nectarian. So anyone would like to say some words from their heart? Any one of you? I'm not forcing anyone.
But unfortunately, because of the overload of verses we had to do today, I don't think we had enough questions as such. But then I didn't feel like that.
This great austerity actually to complete things but it's good in one sense that there is so much
much
you
more.
have to go again and
No, this is more like an appetizer. We didn't
Yes.
read the word for word equivalent. We didn't read few purports. We just read it in some shape. So it means it gives much more opportunity for us. This is like a soup for you. Then 7 course meal will come. And more importantly, Swadhyaya is very important. I can see all of you are doing your own Swadhyaya, your self study. Please keep doing that. And that is when the real you will relish it. You have to have your quiet corner. Maharaj used to say this, that you all of you, whether you are grahastha, brahmachari, whatever it may be, but have your quiet corner with Krishna. Don't let anybody come in between you and Krishna. Not even your WhatsApps and Facebook. Not I mean to say your phones also. Keep your quiet, keep a corner, just to be with him. That's when you will enjoy this. And Prabhu also has enjoyed these purports. That's why was insisting on reading them. But I knew you would have heard it. You are really having so much of Shravanam, capacity for Shravanam and Kirtanam. Please continue. Today is Julan Yatra also. And nice Kirtans will be there in the evening. And the service.
darshan here festival, there festival,
Everywhere festival.
all festivals.
Nitya Utsav.
Yes.
Nitya Utsav is our life.
Ramavallabh Prabhu wants to say some words from his heart.
Hare Krishna. We are very fortunate to have got Association of Kalchakra Krishna Prabhu. Earlier in few Bhagavatam class also has some limit of time. We had heard Prabhuji, but this time we had the opportunity to hear very elaborately, going very deep into these purports and learning them from different pastimes of Prabhupada, disciples, how they have applied this in their lives. And with Association of Prabhuji, it seems that we should have continued this every day kind of thing. Every day, 3 hours we can sit and we can hear. But one thing is that the Bhagavatam, what kind of the tattva is there to bring it down to our level of application for the sadhakas is very, very important. So what kind of practice should be there? And Prabhuji has put in so many quotes. And the way Prabhuji connected yesterday, especially imperceptible time was one such feast, going through the whole Bhagavatam almost for that one thing. So we could just get very small glimpses because time always was a constraint in that sense. And in his association, we could learn so much and appreciate and understand what Prabhupada and our acharyas has given us in this form. And how much more work we have to do to develop such ruchi in Bhagavatam. So Prabhuji was sharing yesterday that every year he finishes one time Bhagavatam from January till November. Every day one chapter. In this way he finishes the whole and goes through some verses, some purports, some translations, and next time also. So how many times you would have read through? So that also brings us to a lot of homework for all of us. And it was a very, very great feast to enjoy the association of Prabhuji and go into these purports. We also pray to Sri Radha Vidhan Chandra, we again and again get association so that in our personal study we can go much deeper. And the bubble of materialism and Maya and whatever in the world goes on, unless it's pierced and it is destroyed, then that remains within the heart. So very, very grateful to Prabhuji. Thank you. And in spite of his schedule, he was also ready to extend and give a class in the kitchen because second half Prabhuji has to continue with his work. And along with that, he was also sharing there. He was very, very merciful to give his association there. Wherever the chance to glorify Bhagavatam, glorify devotees, glorify Prabhupada is there, Prabhuji is extra enthusiastic. So we are very fortunate to have seen it and experienced it with our eyes. Thank
You are giving opportunity for me to serve Bhagavatam. My Guru Maharaj only instruction to me after he gave a few instructions, but the main was you just give Bhagavatam wherever, just distribute Bhagavatam wherever you go. Because he gave us letters of life and soul. Don't see Bhagavatam as a book. See it as your lifetime companion of Krishna with you. He said, anytime, don't feel that I'm going. Anytime I open Bhagavatam, you will see me, he said. So, many devotees have told us this. When I told this to some of the devotees who have not even met Maharaj, They are not Maharaj disciples. They are not met Maharaj. But few things about importance of Bhagavatam and I tell. This devotee said, I have not met your Guru Maharaj, but whenever I open Bhagavatam read, I feel that he's standing next to me and guiding me like that. It's not these relationships are not material. That's what it means spiritual. You need not have seen that personality. You need not have talked or spent time with them. But just by hearing about them, that is their purity, Prabhupada, we have not seen him. But just by reading his purports, we are feeling his presence, isn't it? He's right there in the 1971-70. That time he's writing, don't eat too much. Ekadashi day. How much joy we had with these purports. Prabhupada is writing very serious purport and we are enjoying. Thank you, Prabhus. Really appreciated.
And we also pray to Prabhuji and beg for his mercy. We can develop such taste in reading and going deep and applying it in our lives. Hare Krishna.
Please pray that I practice like you all.
So, Prabhuji, so very small gift from our Bhaktivedanta Raj Vidyalaya is headed by Mata Charan Prabhu.
No, significant is not the thing, but I just did say, don't have to make it so formal.
Actually, mark we are not able to do.
Sorry. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, this is
So we'd like to thank Prabhuji by loudly chanting 3 times. इसके काल चक्र कृष्ण प्रभु की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Bhagavatam, or any other. Thank you, Prabhus. Online is switched off. Thank you, Prabhus. Online. I know I was not able to interact with you all personally. I could not interact with you all personally, but KTMPC. I think Krishna willing, I may come there. I hope to see there some devotees there. I may be coming there. Maybe Sunday I might come. No, tomorrow, Saturday, no? Tomorrow is Saturday, no? I may come. Let's see. Or Tuesday morning, Krishna willing. Thank you, Prabhus. Really nice seeing you all. And Krishna willing, we will all catch up again whenever he arranges another opportunity. I really love this, your company, all your company. Right? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.